welcome back. What's up, dirty dogs?
Hello?
Hello, everyone.
What up, everybody? It's good to see ya. It's good to see you guys. Well, they're back at work. They are back at work. Seen any tents up? Ain't nothing changed. What'd you think? That they just said that and all of a sudden he snaps his magical fingers and everything just is disappearing? Yeah, that doesn't happen, one. Two, he's only doing it because he wants a presidential bid. We know that ass-licking punk. And that goes to show you that he had the power to clean it up the whole time. And the wherewithal to do it. But he didn't. He just decided to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it. And he's playing the people that vote for him like a fool. And that's all I can say. You vote for him, you are truly dumb. You're an ignorant fool. I don't give a fuck how high your IQ is. Okay? I don't care. You're a fucking moron. What's up, Katie? What's up, everybody? What's up, JP? And that's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. When they want to get their bids, they want to get people to vote for them. They pretend like they are going to do shit for you when they could have been doing that same shit the whole time and decided not to just for the fucking fuck of it. That's it, SV. We're back. What's up, Jack? What's up, Jim? Yeah. We're here. We're early. It's 10:16. They should have started by now. See, that's what happens. You go, you just sit there doing nothing all day for an entire month. You can't even remember what you do when you come back. I'm sure they did, Glitch. I'm sure they did. It's not a surprising thing, Again, they got a slush fund because they know they're losing 25 to 50 million a year. So when they get those $2-3 billion a year, the $2 billion or the $3 billion what's the word I'm looking for, budget, they just take 25, 50 million, put it to the side and say, okay, that's for when we get sued. That's how sad it is, but that's the God's honest truth. What's up, Mayor? How are you? What's up, Sean? Hi, Terry. It's good to see you. You're not late. Shit. We just got on. I've been on a minute or two. 3 minutes now. So, not a big deal. And that's including me with a minute of just bullshit. And so, quickly. Want to show you guys. Scanners are working 100% better. And we didn't even fix the antenna yet. We did everything but the antenna. And, let me show you this. Don't be staring at my dick when I do it, neither. Alright, over. Hi. New Motorola radio. Oh boy. Got the other ones all worked out, all new cabling. But the Motorola radio is a big deal because that's like almost $600 right there that we spent. So that way I can have 2 LAPD radios and I can find the dispatch where they're actually chasing them. Oh, here we go, guys. Here we go. Hold on. We're finally here. So that's what we've been doing.
Angelinos, welcome to the meeting of your Los Angeles
quiet.
City Council.
Gene, thank you so much, Gene. Bach, let's go.
July 2024. My name is Mark Harris Dawson, President Pro Tem of the Los Angeles.
It is cheap. I mean, it was slightly used.
Today,
It's not
public
brand
comment will be
new.
taken
Thank you,
both in person
Chalvish.
and in this council chamber.
Why is it so
being
quiet?
For this meeting, Madam Clerk, can we begin by calling the roll?
Yes.
Man, their DEI high. I can barely hear it. It's on full blast.
Hernandez, Hutt, Krikorian, Lee, McCosker, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman,
Hopefully this
Rodriguez,
idiot turns it up. The
Martinez,
DEI higher in
Sosowski,
there.
13 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
Guess he
All right.
forgot how to use the volume
Approval of
while he
minutes
was
of
off for the
July
month,
2nd, 2024.
getting paid.
All right, Councilmember Park moves. Councilmember Soto Martinez seconds. Next.
What's up, Brooke?
Resolutions
Missed
for
you too.
approval.
Councilmember
NASA
Blumenfield
scanner? No. Well, I mean, you can get a
moves.
lot of shit.
Councilmember
That's for
Yaroslavsky
sure.
seconds.
We're getting all our tactical channels. Remember before we used to get the tactical, then I couldn't
All
get
right,
them
today
because
we'll ask
everything was
Councilmember
fucked
John
up.
Lee of the 12th
We got a new
District to
power
lead us in our
supply,
flag
all
salute.
new
Everybody
cables,
stand.
new Motorola. So the only thing we need to do now is I need to go up on the roof and attach the four what do you call it? The four elements that fell off the beam from that last windstorm. That's it. And then we're back to normal.
Under God, indivisible, justice for all.
All right, Madam Clerk, what's next?
That's a good thing, Brian.
Mr. President, there's a request to continue.
It's so I can
item
barely hear it on my side.
43
Can
to
you guys hear it
October
good? Let me know.
25th,
On your side, is it low or is it okay?
Continue
What is it at?
Item 44
Put it in the chat.
to August 6th, 2024.
'Cause I can barely hear
and
it
to
on my side.
continue item
It's low,
60
right?
To August
Way low.
14th,
Oh, that's what I thought.
2024.
Without objection, that'll be the order. All right. Thank you. Thank you very
The
much.
problem is the higher I turn it up, we may get that echo.
Of item 60 to August 14th.
See, that's full blast. It should be echoing right now.
Just on that particular item, I'm going to suggest a substitute date. All right, so if you'll call that item special, we'll come to it in the regular.
See, now
order.
he's-
Item 60 special. Then.
Now he's
All right,
definitely
thank
coming
you.
up. See, that's what I
So
mean.
the
To do the
remaining-
DEI higher, that
Mr.
sound machine.
President, shall I continue running through the agenda, sir?
Yes, except we've got Mr. Price.
I'd like to
Don't tell me it's not getting louder, 'cause I'm not doing anything.
Worked on this project in the past.
All right, recusal.
That's them.
For item number 59 for Councilmember.
What's up, Tyree?
Price, Mr. Lee.
President,
What
I'd
are you
like
doing
to
over there,
ask that we
Stinks?
move the
I can hear you.
items
I don't
number
see you, though.
47 and 48, move the Public Works Committee recommendations for those two items. And for item number 53,
Yeah,
there
Ben,
is
because
a
the idiot who
citywide
runs their
reference
sound in that
needs
room
to
is
be
realizing,
adopted, and we have a
doesn't
substitute
sound very
motion
loud on
that the
YouTube.
city attorney has.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Lee. So we're not at specials yet. So
That's
we'll come
how it
back to
should
if
be.
What you've got is a special.
Right? That's how it should be,
All right,
right there.
so can we continue through the agenda, Madam Clerk?
Is
Yes,
it
Mr.
echoing now?
President. Items 1
Sure
through
it is.
42 are items noticed for public hearing. For item 4, the tabulated
What's up,
votes
Robin?
of opposing ballots cast do not exceed the tabulated
Hi, Jason.
value of the supporting
No echo?
ballots
Okay,
cast.
good. That's good.
84.83% to 15.
Okay, I'm on 11 right now.
Thus,
We're
the
straight.
majority protest is found not to exist.
We're on
and the
11.
proposed
Don't know what else to do.
establishment of the
I can't
Highland
go any
Park
higher.
Property and Business Improvement District
Awesome.
may be
Glad you don't
authorized.
hear it.
Item
Great, great, great.
Item 5, the tabulated vote of opposing ballots cast do not exceed the tabulated vote of supporting ballots cast, 88.66% to 11.34%.
11, that's what I'm on right now.
Thus, the majority protest is found not to exist, and the proposed establishment of the Hollywood Media Property and Business Improvement District
let's
may
get
be
caffeined up.
authorized. For item 6, the tabulated value of opposing
Salvador.
ballots cast do not exceed the tabulated value of supporting ballots cast, 92.92%
No, we can't, Dark.
to
Oh, look who's here. Second I start on my coffee.
0.08%. Thus, the
Huh?
majority
You
of
want coffee?
protest has found not to
You're not gonna
exist,
go lay over
and
there
the proposed
on the computer.
establishment in North Hollywood Transit Property
Why don't you go lay in your
and
chair? Your
Business Improvement
camera's
District
working.
may be authorized. For items 24 through
Just give me a sec and we'll
42,
put the cam on for
the
him.
Department
He's
of
just trying to
Building and
figure out what
Safety
he wants to do
recommends
right now.
confirming
What's up,
items
Golf?
24,
She looks like a zombie.
25, 27 through
You're never going to hear me say this,
items
probably ever
31,
again, but I wish she'd put her mask
33,
back on.
34, items 36 through 39, and item
Sean, I'm almost ready.
41.
Sean, your
The
cards are on the way.
department
Thank you again for buying
recommends
another
receiving and
batch of cards. I
filing
know you bought in
items 30,
several.
35,
Thank you, Sean.
40, and 42
And they're already on the
inasmuch
way
as
to
the
you.
liens have been
Yesterday
paid,
I dropped
and
them off.
the department requests continuing items 26 and 32 to August 27, 2024. Items 43 through 48 are items
Right, Tim?
for
It's like
which
dealing with
public
a...
hearings have been held.
It
Items
really reminds me
49
when I
through
was in stage crew
62 are items
in
which
high
public
school.
hearings have not been
Bunch of,
held.
you know,
Items
high school kids
63
trying to
and
run audio and
64 are
visual
closed session items
for like,
considered
you know,
by the Budget and
plays and
Finance
stuff
and
like that. That's what I
Innovation
used to do.
Committee.
Set up the
10
gels
votes
and the
are
lights
required
and
for
set up the
consideration, sir.
AV a little.
All right, without
The
objection, those
limited
items
shit
are
that I
before us.
knew.
Now we'll go to specials. So
And it just reminds
Mr.
me
Lee,
of
did
this
we
shit.
get all of your specials?
Yes, correct, Mr. President. So item number.
My girlfriend gonna be there, Brian? I'm hoping.
Public Works
I need some.
and
got a booter.
Hopefully she gives me one pee-pee touch.
Item 53, we have a substitute motion that I believe the city attorney has a copy of.
One
All right, we have a
pee-pee touch.
substitute motion for item 53.
Are you there? Is that where you're gonna be? Because everybody wants to see you, and
At this
You keep
time,
moving around
then
like a ding
53
dong.
should be held on a desk until the substitute motion is available for the city attorney to read out.
Okay. All right, Councilmember
second I put it on,
Hernandez.
I turn it off.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to call items 46
Oh,
and
that's
51
not what I
special for
wanted.
a separate vote, please.
That's the
All right. Councilmember
These
Hutt.
here. This
Thank you,
there.
Mr. President.
All right, so if you want to lay down, buddy, you
items
can.
47 and 48, I'd like to move to adopt the Public Works Committee report with a technical amendment to remove the date August 7th throughout the recommendation.
All right, so it's just the removal of the date, August 7th?
Correct.
Okay.
Baby
And is there a second?
right, she's heating
to,
up. First round's
the
going.
Technical amendment correction?
Mr. Lee seconds.
Thank you.
All right,
You
Mr.
would
De Leon.
you would think that, Andrew, because I bet you gets probably paid pretty good money, and you obviously know his skills aren't there.
For 90 days.
So yeah,
Number
one would
8 for-
assume, because that's what everybody good audio and visual people do. That's what they do. All the techs. You think these bands walk on stage without doing sound
So
checks? You're
54 and
crazy.
55 have amendments. The city attorney has.
They do a
amendments.
whole
All right,
check.
let's do that one
They
first.
set up every
And
drum,
just
every
for
guitar.
clarification,
Then they tell the
for
band come in. I
item
think it's
8,
where you'd
continued
like it,
for
sirs
90
and
days,
ma'ams.
the new
Try it.
council date is
Then they'll go in there and
October
tweak it a little
25th,
high, a little low,
2024.
little low. Okay, we're good there. Boom. Set,
And then we've got a
lock
couple
it
amendments.
and set it, or set it and lock
And
it.
I believe that these are technical amendments. So the
Should be
first
the
one
same
is
thing
for
here.
Item number 54, introduced
Sup,
by
Laguna?
Councilmember
Hi,
De
Mello.
Leon. It says that I move to amend item number 54 on today's council.
How come De Leon hasn't
as
stepped down? Because you
follows.
can't make him, and
Transfer
why
and
would you leave a
appropriate
job that's almost a $250,000 a year?
$6,000.
Dark Corner. That's just the salary, not to mention the kickbacks from different companies.
14, AB 1290, fund number.
Again, being racist
533,
apparently is not against the law.
account
You
number
tell me. I mean, aren't Democrats all about equality?
And strike the following.
And get rid of their old past. You know, apparently the party has changed. Nobody can tell you when it changed. Never give you a date.
Account number 00W90.
But apparently it's changed.
Council District 14, Community
That's
Improvements.
called living on the
All of that
Democrat
money was struck,
plantation.
And the motion continues to the LAPD Fund number 100/70, account 00.
Not to mention, never in its history have they installed somebody you're supposed to vote for instead of voting for them in. And that's never happened, ever, in the history of either party. Until now.
The second on this?
Until now. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Smoke.
Mr. Bloomfield second.
And for item number 55.
Well, it could be that. They don't want you to hear.
That I move that item number 55 on today's council agenda
TV
be
742.
amended to read as follows. Transfer and appropriate $750,000
Does have a pretty big head.
from the Council District 14.
His hair's
Public
not bad
Benefits
today,
Trust
though.
Fund number
Not terrible.
57L/14. Account number 14001.
Not much for the
and
Pinky LaRuta. There's De Leon right there.
$250,000 from Council District 14, AB 1290, Fund number 53P, account number 281214.
He looks North Korean.
CD14 redevelopment projects.
I wouldn't doubt it if they literally took some Xi Jinping,
Funds
or not
from
Xi
the non-
Jinping,
from
that's China.
non-departmental
What's his
capital
name?
improvement expense program
fuck,
fund number
from North Korea.
100/54.
Forget his fucking
account
name
number
already.
00W
Took his son and brought him over here to
Council
work
District
for
14,
them.
Community improvements.
Kim Jong-il.
The motion then continues to
Yeah, that's
Department
what it
of
is,
Public
Kim Jong.
Works, Office of Community
Right as you
Beautification,
said it, BJ.
Fund
It finally came back to me.
100/74, account
Kim Jong-un.
3040, contractual services.
Il
to
was the
fund
dad,
a
I guess,
sidewalk
and
repair
Un
program
is
for
the
damaged
son,
sidewalks in
the
Council
current
District
leader.
14.
And the second.
Yeah, Il was
for,
his dad, right?
The amendment for 55.
Mr. Bloomfield.
Thank you.
All right. Any more specials, members? And did we take care of Mr. Lee's amending motion?
So I have it now and can read it into the record. On the substitute motion, it reads as follows. In September 2009, the council adopted an ordinance establishing a special event permit procedure. Ordinance number.
I mean, if you told me legitimately that he was
180881,
like the,
including a
you know,
process
the
to
child
grant
of Kim
limited
Jong-un or
subsidy
Il,
requests.
it
The ordinance provides
wouldn't
the framework
surprise me at
to
all.
effectively ensure that city fees and charges, including
I
salary
wouldn't say,
costs
"Ah."
for special events, are
I'd say,
accurately determined and recovered,
"Outright."
serving a public purpose. The ordinance also requires the
They're
chief
socialists,
legislative
they're
analyst,
communists.
CLA,
Wouldn't-
to
it
prepare
wouldn't-
and submit an
wouldn't
annual
shock me at
citywide
all.
list of special events for council's review and approval. A citywide special event is an event of interest to a significant number of city residents
would, Mahoney.
from 3 or more council districts. The fee subsidy allows an event sponsor to request a reimbursement of up to 50% of the city's costs associated
Recording is
with the
Wayne
event.
Bradley.
Event sponsors
Wayne
must
Bradley?
show proof of nonprofit or charitable status, IRS determination letter, and have an annual operating budget of less than $5 million. Subsidies may
Bro,
be
you ain't
provided
punching that dude in the
only
head.
for
He'll take
non-commercial
every
special
fucking
events
blow you
that
got.
promote a public
Ding.
purpose and public benefit.
Ding.
Requests for special event fee subsidies
When are you gonna hit
are
me, bro?
referred to the CLA for review and recommendation. The Bureau of Street Services administers an online permit application center to coordinate the permitting process. The attached revised list of citywide special events has been prepared by the CLA with the assistance and cooperation of council district offices. Sufficient funds have been made available in the citywide special event account administered by the city clerk in support of subsidy requests.
Yeah, lay down.
I therefore move that the council adopt the attached list of citywide special events prepared by the Office of the Chief
down.
Legislative Analyst in
Lay right
conformance
there.
with the
Daddy
city's
cleaned everything
special
off
event
for you.
permit procedure. Ordinance number 180881.
Thinks asleep on his feet? No.
Mr.
Oh, Wayne
President,
Brady.
Yeah, Mr. City Attorney, we can, if we could, Mr. President, if we could continue this item for a week and we will reintroduce this motion.
Do Koreans
maybe
normally
a week
have
from
big
now,
heads?
So there's no reason to read in the amendment this time.
Not really.
To August 6th?
Correct.
All right. Without objection?
So item 53 is continued.
I've seen more
to
Japanese,
August
I think,
6th.
with
Thank you, sir.
with the big head than a Korean. Oh,
All right.
come
Any
on,
more
what are you
specials
doing?
members?
Stop it already.
All right.
man.
Seeing none, Madam Clerk, what's before us?
Council may
What are you
now
doing,
vote
kid?
on
Come on, just lay down.
item
Stop-
45
stop
if
being
it
a-
wishes.
Pest. Lay down.
All right. That item is before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
Mr. President, council may also vote on 63 and 64. Those are the closed session items
There we
that was heard by Budget and
All
Finance.
right, he
and
figured out where he
Immigration
wants to
Committee.
be and what he wants to do. now.
All right, Mr. Blumenfield.
We heard those in Budget Finance. I don't think we need to hear them in closed session here. Recommend that we approve them as per the Budget Committee in open session.
All right. Let's open the roll.
Mr. President,
yes.
may I read the settlement notes?
Oh, yes.
Item 63.
We-
in
if
the
we
case
have to hear from
entitled
you again.
Praxedis Benitez versus City of Los Angeles et al. There is a recommendation to expend up to $160,000 in settlement. Item
160.
64 in the case
Gone.
entitled Rohini Pereira versus City of Los Angeles et al. There is a recommendation to expend up to $1.5 million in settlement.
All right.
So one gets
Open the
160K,
roll
the
on
other
those
one gets
items.
1.5 million.
Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
So there's, almost
14
$1.7 million of our money
All right,
down the
what's next?
drain, straight flushed, thanks to
Next
these
would
assholes.
be either council
All
may
right.
go into presentations or public comments, sir.
All right.
Hopefully
we'll
there's
go
no
into
presentation.
presentations. We'll begin with Mr. McCosker, who
Hoping
has
there
a
was
special
none.
introduction.
Thank you very much.
There's a lot of
Welcome
people
back,
there.
everybody, from recess. It's great to be with you. Thank
From
you, Mr.
recess,
President.
like little
I
kids
have a
and
great-
shit.
A great presentation today. Very, very short.
They all get a juice
but
box and
really
an apple,
meaningful.
too?
The Wilmington Neighborhood Council is with us today because today the Wilmington Neighborhood Council is
Random
going to be having
lawsuit,
their
Jamie.
strategic planning session, and we've reserved the Tom Bradley room for them, and they are here today in force, not in full force,
Because
but
trust
in
me,
pretty strong force.
people and lawyers
And
understand
what is
they just
special
have to
about
file the
Wilmington
suit,
Neighborhood Council? They're all
and if
special.
they're
We
even
love all our neighborhood
halfway
councils, but the
guilty,
Wilmington
these
Neighborhood
people won't
Council
want to go to court.
is
They're
Neighborhood
just going to
Council certified
do
number
exactly
one.
what they said. We
The very
recommend a
first Neighborhood
settlement
Council
because it's going to
certified
go
in
too
the
long.
city of Los
We're going to
Angeles
waste
on
more money ping-ponging back and forth.
December 11th, 2001, and they're coming up on their 23rd anniversary. And I remember that moment so well because I was just with Jim Hahn, and we had just spent time in the city attorney's office getting ready for the new charter. The implementation
Always
of the new
does, Ross.
charter meant many, many things, including the formation of neighborhood councils. The Wilmington community came together quickly, and at that first meeting of Done, or the first certification meeting, December 11th, this is the neighborhood council that was formed. By the way, neighborhood council number 2 is also my district, Coastal San Pedro. So we are so pleased to be joined by our chair. How many times have you been chair, Gina? 3-time chair, Gina Martinez, and Gail Fleury, and Alicia
Mike?
Balthazar,
Hi, Russell.
Fabiola Garcia, Trishi Salas, Teresa Rodriguez, and Simi Seaman.
Simi
Simi was with us
Seaman.
last year. We honored her and the legacy of her great husband. Anyway, I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you for your hard work, your dedication to our community, for our beloved Wilmington, and I want to wish you well up in the top.
Bro, she got bothered all day in school. There's just no way. Just no way.
I can come visit with you a little bit later. But
just no way.
And let's hear it for the Wilmington
You
Neighborhood
can't
Council.
script that. Simi Seaman.
And Gina, I'd just like Gina to say a word. Please.
Oh yeah, they were calling her Stinky Seaman and
Thank
all
you.
kinds of shit in school. You could tell.
Our council stands here with our councilmen. We stand
With her
proud,
fucking beret on.
and we are very pleased to be here. Our councilman, in the short time that he has been with us, has been a shining example.
Well, if you're
and
right,
has
Trump
proved that
Biden,
city government
let's
can
just
work.
go with your theory.
Together with our councilmen,
One side's way
we
worse
have
than the other side of the
successfully worked
club.
on over 15 community impact statements, and that's no easy feat. The community of Wilmington and this council will hold our electives to hold their feet to the fire. And we've been here many times, and I just want to say we're very honored and very grateful to have our councilman. And of course, we had to give him a swag bag because he's going to come up to our meetings.
Oh my God, how fucking terrible.
It's
Swag
Irish Spring.
bag. It's Irish Spring because you stink.
Thank you so much, Mr. McCosker, and welcome.
And he's Irish.
The Wilmington Neighborhood Council. All right, now we'll have a presentation.
Isn't that
led
kind of
by
racist to give the
Council
Irish man
District
Irish Spring?
14, Mr. Kevin De Leon.
Alex, thank you. What's up? It's good to see you. That's hysterical. Give the Irish guy some Irish Spring. What are you trying to tell him? That he stank? You need some Irish Spring? And I can't say I didn't use Irish Spring back in the day, because it did. Just, it makes your skin too, like, itchy and dry, It's just nicer to use the, like, liquid soaps. Is there cash in it? Probably, Glitch. She just said it's bars of soap, but it's really, that's code for cashola. I don't know if we all used it, Jay. Because, when I was living at home, the rest of the family didn't like it. They liked, like, Ivory. And Dove stuff and Ivory. My mom wasn't using no goddamn Irish Spring. I sure was, but not my mama. We are back, Lace Bacon. Just in time to, looks like, give the Muslim folks an award. What's he waiting for? What's going on here?
You say when, Mr. President?
It's all yours.
Awkward pause.
Good morning. Muy buenos días to each and every one of you. Assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters. Colleagues, at the beginning of July, we recognize the kickoff of Muslim American Heritage Month by lighting up City Hall.
Okay, hold on a second. Wait.
Hall,
Really quick. I'm pausing it.
And white.
Let me pause it for a second. So you're telling me veterans of this country get one fucking day, okay? And the deceased get one day for Memorial Day. But the Muslim Americans here get an entire month. Got it.
We were in recess
Just
for the
got
rest
it.
of the month, but the
Got it.
celebrations continued.
Makes
no
sense.
doubt, as we come together to celebrate
Makes a whole lot
the
of sense.
closing of Muslim American Heritage Month, I'm deeply, deeply honored.
This
to
country
bring
wouldn't be
attention
here
to our
without
Muslim
those folks who
brothers
died
and sisters.
and the ones who are still
I am
alive.
especially honored because
They wouldn't
this
be able to
year
have their
marks
month if
Los
it weren't for those
Angeles'
veterans.
10th anniversary celebrating the dynamic contributions of Muslim Americans. This month of July has been a time of reflection, a time of learning, and immense pride as we recognize the invaluable contributions of Muslim Americans to both our city, to our county, to our state,
Fucking
and to our
ridiculous.
nation, and even more broadly to Muslims worldwide. Muslim Americans have enriched our communities in countless ways through their unwavering dedication to education, their pioneering spirit in business and innovation, their compassion in healthcare, and the relentless pursuit of justice.
Yeah, Tim, I never got any free Irish
Their
Spring. I bought
contributions have
mine.
not only helped shape our city, but have also woven a rich
Amazing.
tapestry of cultural diversity, that
Sharia
makes
law
Los
month.
Angeles the vibrant metropolis that we call home today. The values of the Muslim faith: compassion, mercy, justice, forgiveness, humility, charity,
You ain't never getting
and
that,
generosity are fundamental pillars that guide over 2 billion individuals around the globe.
There isn't white.
These values
You should
remind us
never
of our shared
have any pride in
humanity
being white.
and our
Apparently,
collective responsibility to care for one another.
you can have
They
brown
inspire us to be
pride.
better,
You can have black
to act
pride.
with integrity, and to seek justice.
But you
in every
can't have
corner
white
of
pride.
Our society. Today,
Can't be prideful
Mr. President
and be white.
and colleagues,
Against
we
the
are
rules.
privileged to honor these
Who's
exceptional
fucking?
representatives
Who's the dude in the
of
background?
Muslim community, each who
Background.
embodies
Hold on,
these
it changes
virtues
back to the thing.
in
You'll see.
very unique ways.
Who's the guy in the
First,
yellow hat?
We will remember a
Is
long
that fucking
time
Logan
resident,
Paul?
of the city of Los Angeles. So, not originally from Los Angeles.
doing it for the
but
gram?
A man who had a huge footprint,
What's up, Seth?
not just locally, nationwide, but globally. And that is no other than Muhammad Ali. And we have a video also, if we can cue up the video.
Looks like Logan, right?
His devotion to Islam increasingly shaped his daily routine. He prayed 5 times each day, facing Mecca, called friends to discuss the differences between religions, and distributed autographed pamphlets that he hoped would help correct common misperceptions about his faith. When he traveled in the Muslim world,
Brock Lesnar's
massive
daughter.
crowds greeted him as Muhammad Ali Clay to distinguish their hero from thousands of faithful Muslims also named Muhammad Ali. During a goodwill visit to Pakistan in 1987, Muhammad and Lonnie visited schools, hospitals, and mosques. They delivered canned milk to an Afghan refugee camp along the border and encouraged
Gross.
guerrilla fighters there in their long struggle to evict the occupying Soviet army from Afghanistan.
He needed love like he needed air to breathe. So the people did probably more for him than he did for them, if not at least equal. You know, so he was so grateful for the love they gave. He was so grateful for that.
In 1989, he was on the road more than at home, visiting England, Senegal, Switzerland, and Saudi Arabia. In April, he and Lonnie made a pilgrimage to Mecca during the holy month of Ramadan. Ali had visited Mecca before, in 1972, but now admitted that he hadn't fully appreciated its significance and acknowledged that his commitment to his religion
What's up,
had
Star
long
Cruz?
been imperfect. I fit my religion to do whatever I wanted. I did things that were wrong and chased women all the time. Everything I do now, I do to please Allah.
One of my father's favorite sayings was, rivers, lakes, and streams all have different names, but they all contain water. So do religions have different names, but they all contain truth. He always taught me that there's only one true religion, and that's the religion of the heart, he would say. And as long as you do right and you treat people right, you know, I believe you'll go to heaven no matter what you call your religion.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Beyond his incredible achievements, colleagues, in the boxing ring, Ali's international impact as a humanitarian and advocate for human and civil rights have left a profound and double mark on the
Man,
world.
his suit looks really
His
cheap.
courage, both in and out of the ring, his steadfast faith.
Looks like
and
he
his
sewed it.
commitment
Look
to
at the
justice and
lapel.
equality continue to inspire billions.
Like, this shit
And
just
although
looks cheap.
we could not have
$99
family
suit
members of Muhammad
downtown.
Ali do some conflicts in terms of scheduling, we do have a video from the daughter of Muhammad Ali, Maryam Ali. If we can cue that up.
Timu suit. Ah.
I would like to thank Council Member Kevin De Leon and all of his council colleagues for honoring my father at this year's Muslim Heritage Month celebration. My dad loved the city of Los Angeles and all of the many years that he lived there. But more importantly, he had the audacity to believe that the First Amendment right to religious freedom also applied to him. So thank you again for acknowledging the importance of this human right for us all.
Whatever happened to Black Boy Joy? He's there.
Mr. President, as well as colleagues, we also have the privilege of honoring another of our extraordinary
that was a pretty
law enforcement
stunning
officers. That's no other than Mohammed
sentence that came
A.
rumbling out of
Hussain.
his mouth.
Born in Bangladesh, Officer Hussain worked as a government employee for 5 years before coming to America back in 1991, where he worked at LAX for 11 years. He joined the Los Angeles Police Department 2002 as a public
That ain't
servant,
happening, Randy.
volunteer
Don't hold your
of
breath.
The Islamic Center of Hawthorne, the Islamic Institute of Torrance, the Council on American Islamic Relations, and the Los Angeles Muslim Shura Council, among other organizations. He is truly a man living out his faith to improve the lives of others. So I want to recognize you, my brother Hussain, for being here with us today. You'll come up in just a few moments. We'll have you share a few words. And lastly, Mr.
What is he,
President,
top
as
flight
well as
security,
colleagues,
and that's
we
uniform?
honor,
He ain't a LAPD.
Representative Elsa Martinez,
We top flight security
who is
of the
originally
world, Craig.
from Juarez,
Shit,
Chihuahua,
not just the city, the
Chihuahuense,
world.
La Tierra de Juan Gabriel. We honor the Association Latino Musulmana of America, other known as LALMA. This incredible organization has dedicated itself to teaching and disseminating traditional Islamic knowledge within
That's what I'm saying,
a
Poker. Look at this.
contemporary
Look at the patches.
context.
That
Through
ain't an
their programs,
LAPD badge.
LALMA has fostered greater understanding and respect among the
What's up, Fight Man?
non-Muslim Spanish-speaking community, provided guidance and spiritual support to new Muslims, Musulmanes, and advocated for social justice in alignment with their spiritual values. Their work is a beacon of hope and unity in our city. And I want to thank you
Calamity
as well
Girl?
too, very much, Elsa, for your presence, for your leadership and
golf?
understanding as you read scripture in the Quran that inspired you, and you evolved as a woman, as a Latina, as a resident of the city of LA, to become also a Muslim American who's Latina, who's Mexican
he
in
didn't lose
origin.
weight.
Now, as we conclude this month of celebration, I hope that we've made all aware the more of the values, the customs, and
Trust me,
contributions
he's got plenty
of
of
our
big
Muslim
belly.
brothers and sisters, our
He
neighbors
just
who
ate
carry out their faith in
before we went
everyday
on.
acts of both friendship and kindness. Let us continue to build bridges of understanding, promote justice, and cultivate a community that honors and respects the rich diversity of all its people.
As long as you're
Thank
not
you
white.
to all who have participated in and supported
should have said that.
Muslim
As long as
American
you're not
Heritage
white.
Month. And especially want to thank our city's great warrior for justice, no other than Naji Ali, who is the founder of the Muslim American Heritage Month in Los Angeles. Let's bring up Naji Ali just for a few moments.
Thank you. I want to sincerely thank our brother, Councilmember Kevin DeLeon. When I say brother, I mean that from my heart. He's been a longtime friend and warrior for the people. I would be remiss if I did not thank Councilmember Curran Price, Councilmember Bob Blumenfield. It was 10 years ago when I approached you both about this idea.
Was
I
he a
had
warrior
to
for
make sure
people when he was
the
speaking
Muslims
about them in
LA
a bad
were
manner
included, not
on his tape?
marginalized? You both said yes immediately. So our community is extremely grateful.
Hey, Najee,
And also
why
acknowledge
don't you
all
pull
the
his ass
leaders,
cheeks a
organizations
little
right here,
further apart as you
CARE,
stick your tongue in his
Impact,
asshole?
Muslim Shura Council, Free Clinic, Brother Khan. All the leaders are here showing our diversity, but also our brotherhood and our sisterhood. So with that, we're extremely grateful for this honor of Muslim Heritage Month for July. Thank you. And next we'll have Salam Mariyati from the Muslim Public Affairs Council.
The who?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Thank you, Najee, for leading us. And thank you, Councilman De Leon, for honoring this great city, as well as not only Islam, but all the great faiths of Los Angeles. And we think that what's really important here, as you see the tapestry of our community, this is a microcosm of the tapestry of America. And that is why we believe that America is the best home for Islam. That we are here as stakeholders, as shareholders in this experiment, as we work for justice in terms of housing, in terms of treatment by our authorities, in terms of having a place at the seat of the table in all of your offices. So I hope that we can have representatives from your districts, from the Muslim community, meet with all of you. As we look for peace and justice in Palestine, Israel, Gaza is on our minds in terms of what's happening there. the devastation,
Just forgot
the
about it,
destruction,
Jason.
the continuing war that we want to end. And therefore, we can only end that war when we have peaceful, coexisting discussions here in Los Angeles. And we look forward to doing that with you as soon as we can. So thank you very much.
Thank you for the
and thank
continuing
our
rocket
honorees,
attacks, too.
Who represent the best of our community and the best of Los Angeles.
That's the
And
best
we
you have to offer,
Thank
huh?
you for making America a home for Islam.
Thank you very much. Salam. Lastly, Mr. President, I would like to give a quick minute to Mohammed Hussein, who came from Bangladesh, back in the day, and to come here and work at LAX for so many years. And I know we have a lot of folks in the audience here today who work at LAX as well, too. And for him to be a public officer now with LAPD and just the role
You say
that
so,
he
Ellie.
plays within the community as a whole, not just the Muslim American community, but the community as a whole, whether you be black, brown, white,
But I say do it tenfold. Whatever you've got done, 10x it. They'll learn. They'll learn. When the future is shaped and changed differently, they'll learn. So I have zero sympathy for anybody over there. None of them, or none of these folks.
Smoke. I want to thanks to the council, and I want to thanks to my community. I want to thanks.
What does
to my
that patch say?
family,
Los Angeles School
and I
Police?
want to thanks to my department, LAPD.
Public
Security
safety
Service
officer.
Division,
He's a
who
public
let
safety
me
officer.
Serve for the city of LA last 23 years. Thank you, all of them. I want to just remind you from the Holy Quran. In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful,
And apparently,
the especially
kids only matter on one side, not the
by
other.
the
But got
passing
it.
of the
I
time.
understand it.
Indeed, mankind is in loss, except for those who have believed in God and advise each other to the truth and advise each other to patient. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Repent.
And lastly,
From the oak to the olive tree.
President,
What does that mean? Is that some little Palestinian saying or something?
we will keep
Yeah, free Palestine.
Council President, on your behalf and all the council members around the horseshoe here today, we will present this to the family of Muhammad Ali, a man who meant so much to us. But within the context today, the recognition...
Trust me, I do more of them, Brooke, but I don't want to offend everybody.
To ELSA,
People can't take it anymore.
La Asociación Latino Musulmana de América, LALMA, on behalf of...
They all got framed. They all got framed once. Hurry up and bring up the white person and give him his O-Peachy folder already.
And with that, finally, Mr. President,
Little Palestinian flag in his hand up there. Look, the back of his phone is a Palestinian. Oh, he has a Palestinian flag on his phone.
we even have, our Muslim leader
10x it. 10x it. Whatever you've done, 10x.
as well, who gave the beautiful, powerful invocation. And I just want to thank all the incredible leaders here today because you're powerful in many ways. We thank you very much for who you are and how you represent us in the community as a whole. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
All right, we've got a member on the queue that would like to speak. Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you so much, Mr. De Leon, for bringing in this
Ay,
presentation. I'm glad we got
cabrón.
it in just under the wire, that we came back in order to appropriately recognize this very important month in July. And I think, this is a testimony for...
In July?
and thank you, Najee, for helping
July's over tomorrow.
with Curran, with other members of the council, to make this a reality. Because there is no one single religion that takes precedent here. We have a place for everyone in Los Angeles.
Do
and
you,
to
though?
honor and celebrate and uplift what is special and unique about every single part of our city is something that we
Sit
should
down,
always
Meg.
embrace and uphold. And I want to thank each of you. I know how difficult it's been preceding 9/11 or post 9/11. The type of attacks, the type of racism that, and you know, again, just the constant duress that the Muslim community had endured and continues to endure. And so I am really grateful for each.
And what about the Muslim people that endure it against their own people? When the Shia and the Sunni are killing each other over religious beliefs, women are getting beaten, stoned to death. What about them, Monaco?
Notoriety for such.
Oh, I forgot. Those people can't be voters, so totally get it. So, my bad, Monica. My bad.
Around the world.
Go on.
And for everyone to be accepted for who they were. And so I just want to thank you for this presentation. I always think there's never enough opportunities for us to uplift that message and celebrate that.
Come here,
I wanna
Meg.
thank each of you.
I got something for your mouth.
My hermana from Chihuahua for showing that Mexicanos are also there in alignment in this issue.
That's it, Robbie.
It's a reflection of the diversity of that everyone has a calling and an appeal.
If that's true, Ellie, that's crazy. So you're telling me less than 2% of the world owns the world?
And it's, again,
means y'all, the rest of y'all are fucking up.
The greater parts of humanity. That's what this is about. So I want to thank you all, and thank you for allowing us to celebrate each of you and your contributions.
Again, I'm just going with your theory, not mine.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Price.
Thank you, Mr. President. Najee, just want to thank you for...
Oh, shit, yeah, Grady's up in here. Shout out to Grady.
Today to just exemplify
Where
the
is it?
and the diversity of this thank the contribution that you've been making our community stronger, better, and certainly more reflective. So again, congratulations. Keep up the good work.
Councilmember
The
Rahman.
federally indicted one, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to listen to what he has to say.
I just wanted to rise and thank all of you for coming here today. Thank you, Councilmember De Leon, for bringing this presentation forward.
Big dummy.
And just really, really overjoyed
What's wrong?
that Muslims here in the city of Los Angeles are taking up space here at City Hall. And I want to
You wouldn't be dressing anything like that if you were back home.
With us and
Remember that.
Wish you the very best.
You wouldn't be showing no cleavage,
Thank you.
no arms, none of that.
All right, thank you so much, Mr.
You'd be
De Leon,
just
to
like home
close.
chicken front, wrapped up.
All right, with that, we just thank you very much for the time that you've given us. Assalamu alaikum. Have a
You
wonderful
came
day.
walking down the
Thank
street
you so
like that,
much.
you get your ass whooped.
All right.
But that's okay.
Madam Clerk, I'm going to move to adopt the Department of Building and Safety's recommendations for items number 24 through number 42.
Is there a second to this motion?
Second by Mr.
We'll see,
Blumenfield.
Ellie. Well, apparently you already know. So why don't you just tell the world already? Why don't you tell your Democrat pals?
All right. Next, we'll have a presentation.
They'll just
led
stop
by
doing what they're doing
Councilmember
and
Price, and I'll ask
everybody be
anybody in the gallery who's standing up, can you sit down because you're blocking the people behind you? Thank you so much.
Yeah, sit
Appreciate
your
you.
ass down.
Mr. Price.
Fuck you think this is standing up in here?
Colleagues, it's
No
my pleasure
standing.
to bring to the table now a special presentation.
Oh, what is it?
And let me just also acknowledge
Federally indicted day?
an
What is it?
organization that's with us today, United Parents and Students, who have been following this issue. Today, colleagues, we have the research team behind our guaranteed basic income program, Big Leap. And that is, for those of you who may have forgotten,
Big
Basic
Leak?
Income
Oh, Big Leap.
Guaranteed Los Angeles Economic Assistance Program. Big Leap. And we have with us today the research team behind the
shit.
program. Amy Castro from the University of Pennsylvania, and Elizabeth Kim from UCLA, and of course our own Abigail Marquez from the Community Investment for Families Department. They're going to present to us, colleagues, the findings from our
Really?
Big Leap program.
Now we gotta hear
I don't
from
want to
these
give any
three.
spoilers, but let me just tell you that it is a positive report. Some of you may recall, guaranteed income was something that I initially proposed.
Guaranteed
in 2021.
income, socialism.
With a $6 million investment from our CD9 Reimagine funds. That quickly grew into a $38 million program with the support of my colleagues, Council President Marquise Harris Dawson, and others, including Mayor Garcetti at the time. It was the biggest program
Absolutely
of its kind in the
does.
nation, and of course,
Game
so much
pattern.
has been at stake since then. That's why I'm so excited to have the results of the study before us today, so that we can build on what's been done and figure out how we move forward to the next step. So with that, I'll turn it over to the professionals. Thank you for the presentation.
Please, DAI panel, go ahead.
Share the findings from our Big Leap research pilot. The Community Investment for Families Department managed the largest guaranteed income program in the country, and we're very proud of the fact that we were the first city to invest public funds to create this program. And I'm just really delighted to have our research partners from the University of Pennsylvania that are here with us, and our
Always,
local
Derek.
leader researcher at the University of UCLA. But I just wanted to just give you a quick overview. As a department, we had just been established just a few months when we launched Big Leap. And it reached, we had over 50,000 people apply for the program during a 10-day window. In the end, we identified...
Let me guess, Eli, the Jews own all the porn. The Jews are all the porn makers.
Include all of the children that were part
It's got to be, it's always the Jewish folks, right, Eli? Always goes back.
38-year-old with at least 2 children, making on average $20,000 annually. And the program was designed to alleviate the financial burden that families were experiencing, especially in light of a pandemic. And so it was really intended to address the financial hardship that families were experiencing. Many families, as you recall, were laid off, had hours reduced at work. And so we're really trying to prevent more families from falling into homelessness, from becoming housing insecure, from being displaced. And so the findings for me prove what I've known. We've been doing this work as a department, and me personally here in the city for 20 years, is that when we empower Angelenos to make decisions for themselves, they are in the best position to navigate these financial hardships. So
El Diablo Blanco.
First to Dr. Castro, and we're going to go quickly through the PowerPoint presentation, and of course available to answer any questions.
Great, thank you for having us. So just to provide a little bit of context, as she mentioned,
She's
this is
smoking
the
weed
first
too?
large-scale study of unconditional cash that's positioned to determine exactly how much change can
You're
happen
going to
over
Toledo,
just 1
huh?
year. Second, this is the first large-scale RCT, or randomized controlled trial, in North America studying IPV, guaranteed income, and community violence.
No,
since the
I don't know. It
1970s.
depends in November, Mr.
Most
Pibb.
importantly, this is the first time that we've established a link between guaranteed income and IPV reducing, severity
What
and
tribe are you
frequency
from,
of intimate
Eli?
partner violence
Let me
throughout
know.
the duration of the pilot.
Put it in the chat room.
And then finally, Big Leap also establishes these incredible opportunities as to the ways in which innovation can be embedded right in government. So what we saw within the pilot was exactly how much change could take place. And what we know from the literature is that poverty robs parents of decision making. Poverty robs parents of goal setting, and what guaranteed income did was return it back into the hands of parents, particularly mothers. We saw that in months 1 through 6.
Dude,
Moms were
this is
alleviating
insane.
material hardship and establishing immediate safety by leaving dangerous
What's up, John?
situations and by establishing food security and stability for their children.
So
In months
welfare.
6 to 9, they then began to develop proximate safety by enrolling their kids in enrichment activities and then anticipating the future as the project was concluding.
I want to provide you with the characteristics of participants who are in the study. This was a randomized control trial. As you can see, that between treatment
talking about the ones that run the world, Perfect Cracker?
including age, gender, racial and
Which
ethnic
side run the
makeup, and
world?
annual income, they're very well balanced, meaning that the randomization
Since
worked
they're
as
split,
intended.
apparently. Tell Eli they're
Just
split.
to give you a context,
He
in
won't
the
tell
city
me
of
who
Los
he
Angeles
is
back in
from,
2022, the
what
median
tribe
household
he's
income
from.
was a little over $76,000.
Just trying to make sense of it all.
People who are
Explain
part
it to
of
me
this
like I'm a
study,
2-year-old.
Their annual income hovered around less than $15,000, meaning that they were in deep poverty. Next slide, please. So how did guaranteed income affect participants' quality of life? We see that it had a positive impact on financial well-being.
Who's paying for this guaranteed
we had
income?
asked about the ability for people to be able to cover $400 emergency expense, and that is for families.
How
with
about
children,
stop having
this is a
kids if
very
you can't
difficult
fucking afford them?
emergency
How about
expense
that?
to cover, and we see that across
How
the
about
study
that?
period. It's at 6 months.
When
12
you're
months,
broke and
18
then you
months.
have kids,
Treatment
you're
groups who are
putting them into a
receiving
broke
GI
home.
were
How about that?
significantly more likely to be able to cover this
Unless you're a
emergency
Jew, of
expense
course,
compared
Eli.
to the control group, and the control group there in the graph is the
They're all rich. They all own the world.
It also impacted people's emotional well-being. Given that it was a short pilot of 12 months, people did experience some emotional pressure, but we did see a reduction in stress at 6 months and 12 months.
See,
a bit higher.
You're not being
emotional
financially smart
stress
or
in 18
fiscal.
months, and also some
Okay?
psychological distress.
When I don't have
higher
the
in
money for
treatment group
something,
as
I
well
don't
for
go out
18
and
months.
extend
But
to
note
just get
that
it.
across
I want a
the board,
Lamborghini. I
across
can't afford it.
time
Why?
periods, both in the
Because I don't
treatment
own the
and control
world
group,
like the rest
people
of them.
were experiencing some kinds of mental health disorder that were like anxiety and depression across treatment and control group. And the difference here is statistically significant but not clinically significant. Next slide. We also saw that people who received guaranteed income reported significantly less food insecurity. One of the questions we asked was whether or not family members had to eat less because of resource scarcity, and we see that across 6 months, 12 months, and 18 months across the study period, the treatment group reported less likely to eating less food because of scarce resource compared to the control group.
They got their own guinea
we also
pigs,
saw the
their
ways in which
control group.
guaranteed income stabilized health behaviors for families. And so what we saw was that the guaranteed income really introduced this drive towards healthy behaviors.
I have a bunch of 'em
Increasing more
already,
fruits and
Punisher.
vegetables into one's diet. It improved sleep, improved people's opportunities to exercise, improved compliance with previously held treatment plans and prescription medication. We found that a lot of parents were skipping pretty serious medical treatments because they couldn't afford to do so. Next slide.
That's lots of
Second,
folks
we saw that
in
as
America,
people moved
lady.
into sort of months 1 through
Sir.
6, and they established sort of trust with the city and trust through the Angelinos card, that they were able to bundle together their benefits and lean into other programs that the city had. And so what
Never
they were then
enough,
able
Floyd.
to do was to leverage the guaranteed
Never.
incomes that served as the super vitamin that allowed them.
These are
to
people that live on the
bide their time
Democrat
as they were
plantation.
onboarding
They living in Candyland.
And you can see here the ways
You remember
in which,
Candyland from
moms
Django?
specifically were
That's
able
where
to
they're
use the
living right
guaranteed
now.
income to establish safety
I
for
just
their
need a little more crumbs. Just give me a little more crumbs. Give
one of
everybody
our
crumbs. They'll all be good.
Is our
And they'll all vote for us, keep us in power. We'll get the kickbacks. We'll make millions and millions of dollars off of a salary that should be less than 100 grand or so, or 150K. But yet I'll have $42 million in 5 years, thanks to insider trading and everything else. Okay?
IPV
That's
is
what
one of
this
the
is.
causes
Wake
of
up.
women to end up homeless, and for us to have given guaranteed
Welfare
income
system
to
doesn't
an
help
identified
people.
individual instead of a household member was key to helping women escape these intimate partner violence situations.
That's the crumbs.
We also saw
Give you
that
just enough crumbs to live.
we're establishing a
You try to make
safety
more
through
crumbs, then you
secure
don't get no
housing.
crumbs.
Across the control and treatment group, we saw that people
So,
were housing cost burden.
It's not a
but
stepping
yet,
stone. It's a crutch.
Gave a positive outlook on housing conditions across time period. As you
But
see,
all
the
you have to
quote,
do
"Sleep saved my life."
is convert to Judaism, and then you'll be rich and run the world. That's all you have to do.
Housing was the number one priority across the board in the narrative data.
And then second, as parents sort of establish stability,
That's all you got to do, according to Eli and Noticer and all the rest.
over and over again from families that they kept saying things like, I can breathe, I can breathe, I can plan.
Sounds stupid
And
when I
what
say it
parents
out
did is
loud.
They
It's
reinvested
fun.
that time into their children's well-being,
Sounds
through
kosher.
enrichment activities, through spending time with their kids,
Yep.
through being able to
Blessed by a rabbi.
bedtimes. If
What's up,
anyone's
Pete?
parent, you know why that's important. And then
How
really
are you,
key
Pete? We're just listening to these talking heads.
were able to spread the guaranteed income around their neighborhood and fill gaps in other people's budgets as well.
So specifically here,
So remember, folks, you want wealth, instant wealth. Just convert to being Jewish. Judaism will bless you with wealth, and you'll own the world. You'll run the world.
And this was because GI gave them time, but also additional money to be able to continue on with the enrichment activities.
And if I ran the world, why would I be getting kicked off?
44% of GI recipients versus 40% of
What's up, Sween? How are you, buddy?
at least one
I've seen you a little bit.
baseline.
Yes,
GI
Tom will be on
recipients were
tonight,
maintaining
8
this level
p.m.
across the study period, where
8 p.m.
Group, drift off at the end of 18 months.
What's up, Beachcomber?
So significant improvement in establishing in providing opportunities for their children among GI recipients.
Yeah. Sunshine and 30-plus degree days. Yeah.
Compared to the control participants, GI recipients reported significantly more positive engagement with neighbors at 6 months, 12 months, and 18 months, but also reporting feeling less fear in their community.
I'll have a bacon
fear of
and lettuce.
Unsafe environments at 12
Tomato.
months and 18 months.
Fuck
Even
that.
though
Tomatoes are gross.
they actually started reporting more worry about their safety in their community at baseline.
And then as they approached sort of the end of the pilot, what we saw again was this drive towards stability. What parents specifically
Stinks
were
is
able
happy
to do
and
was
his
to be able to
belly's filled. I
leverage the GI to
fed him early
provide
this
sort of
time.
stock up on things like household goods in a
So he
way that
wouldn't
you would
bug
expect
me
them
while
to.
we were doing
but
this.
also they were able to leverage the guaranteed income in such a way that they could choose employment pathways that would actually fit the needs of their children. So it actually allowed them time to find jobs that were better and stronger and more conducive to family.
And finally, GI had a significant impact.
It's almost like she heard that.
Unlike people's fear about people receiving guaranteed
And
income
finally.
stop working, that was definitely not the case in our study. And across each time point, GI recipients were
Sean, this is
significantly
definitely
more
no
likely
police
to
chase.
secure full-time employment
But I can tell
and
you that
remain
this shit gets
unemployed,
pretty
not looking
fucking
for work
fiery.
compared to
Just
the
wait.
control participants. And GI recipients
Just wait.
consistently
Give yourself a.
were looking, searching
Give it a
for
chance.
more opportunities and jobs. And parents use the GI to buy time and find jobs.
Tomatoes were thought poisonous up to the mid-1800s.
So to summarize,
They
when
created
we think
everything,
about financial
apparently,
well-being,
Jack.
We saw that the
That's
treatment
why they own the world. They have a
significantly
patent on
increased their
everything
ability
that's
to
in the
cover
world.
$4 emergencies after 6 months compared to control. Amongst health, we saw that those who were
Anything and
receiving
everything you
guaranteed income were
consumed
able to
throughout the day
decrease
was
their food
patented
insecurity
by
and
Jewish
increase their
folks.
health-promoting behaviors. Third, we saw when it comes to intimate partner violence, that the treatment group reported reduced severity and frequency of IPV. And I'll say again,
I
this is
did,
the first
Peter.
time that there's been a finding like this in North
Trig
America
and-
since the late 1970s. When we look at
Trig
parenting,
is
the
a
treatment
pretty
group,
funny guy.
We're significantly more likely
And,
than
what's his
control parents
name?
to be able to enroll and maintain their kids.
The
in
main
enrichment
guy.
and
I forget his name already.
extracurricular activities.
I've seen a few
Community,
episodes.
When we look at the community,
Some like
treatment
shorts,
group people
you know, on
were
YouTube with them.
significantly more likely to report reduced fear of community and violence, and more likely to report positive
All right, everybody.
interactions with neighbors. They took that time, they invested in their kids, they invested in their neighborhoods. And then finally, when we
So
look at
because I
employment,
gave them free
recipients
money,
were
they're nicer to their
significantly more likely
neighbors.
to secure full-time employment than to
Is
remain
your name's not
unemployed,
Eli?
not looking for work compared to control. And specifically, when we look at parents, they were able to leverage that GI again to find working conditions that were more conducive to family life. Last slide. So when we look forward, what is the genius of this program? The genius of this program is that it dispels the myth that innovation happens outside of government. What we see in Big Leap is that the innovation took place here within the city of Los Angeles. And they didn't try to create something alongside, they embedded guaranteed income within existing systems. So trust and uptake was bolstered by using the Angelinos card and family source centers. Second, leveraging prevention opportunities. Guaranteed income shouldn't be this thing that exists outside of systems that already exist. It should be rooted in programs and policies that we already know work and act as a way to boost those mechanisms in such a way that we can reduce intimate partner violence, further here in the city. Finally, considering longer duration, we saw a tremendous amount of change over just 12 months, but it really does beg the question, what would happen if guaranteed income was embedded within an IPV shelter system? Or what would happen if guaranteed income was embedded within some of these robust programs and investments that the city has already made into affordable housing, into sort of meeting the needs of unhoused people and preventing homelessness for the next generation? Thank you so much. if we could return to the
How about
parish
teaching him a
riders and
trade? That would prevent homelessness too, idiot. And shout out to Project Leak.
Evacuation beginning. Mr. Price to close.
Project Leak, everybody. I mean Leap. I mean Leak.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to thank the research team for joining us today. All colleagues, given the success of this pilot program, I think we need to continue to move this forward. So I'm going to be introducing a motion for a second round of guaranteed funding. In fact, I'm going to be dedicating $1 million of my own discretionary funds to make sure this happens.
Evacuation complete.
Also, $1 million.
Evacuation complete.
And I hope other members will consider.
Evacuation complete.
But I think that it's important, demonstrated, program has demonstrated that it really works.
Project Leak, everybody. Project Leak.
And so I'm hopeful that we can move forward in a very positive, progressive way, making sure that no one is left behind.
Like I'd legitimately rather listen to a piss sound going into a toilet than listen to what's coming out of his federally indicted mouth. What does that got to say? I mean,
Thank you so much,
that's legitimate.
Mr. Price, and congratulations to you.
Yes, and then I'll flush it. I won't leave it in the toilet.
The Big Leap is a big deal. And I want to thank our friends from the University of Pennsylvania. One of the challenges and frustrations of this council is we do programs and then it's never quite clear how it's going and what the outcomes are, and you all have presented us a report that we front-loaded. You all made sure we front-loaded a evaluation program. Mr. Price made sure that was a part of this program, and so we have before us amazing data that is common sense.
Does it make sense? Yes, she terrorized
today by Mr. Price.
The entire state for a long time when she was Attorney General.
All right, now we'll go to public comment. I'll ask if we read the instructions and guidelines for public comment.
Here we go, finally.
Yes, Mr. President.
Sean, you were the one, right?
Record, item 28
Here we go, Sean.
should be held on the desk for,
oh, this is the fat. Think of a steak. Got a bunch of fat around it. Got to cut the fat off, right? If you don't want to eat it. Unfortunately, we had to eat it.
29, 2025, sir.
Yeah.
Before we
go
to public comment, Mr. Hernandez.
Mr. President, I want to give a quick shout out to an organization who.
Oh shit! She lost a little weight. What do you guys think? She looks thinner.
Many districts in the entire city of Los Angeles. We have KYCC here.
I'm gonna say she looks thinner.
They have staff. Can you please stand up and get some praise here from the city of LA? Our KYCC volunteers help clean our neighborhoods, help share information with our communities, and provide resources to our families.
The dress.
So just deep gratitude to you all for all the work you do, both paid but also volunteering.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's me because none of you guys say.
Council President.
She did, right, Robin?
Thank you.
Robin, the only ones who see it.
So we'll continue with our instructions for public comment. Did we hear from the city attorney?
I need new content.
Yes, Mr. President. As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment.
You guys want to call in? Here's your chance coming up. You can voice your legitimate opinion. There it is. There's the number. 669-254-5252.
Then press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press *9 or request to speak. When it's your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press *6 to unmute. Again, call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466.
Love might be deaf too, Sean, if you had to listen to her in the bed.
For participant ID.
That voice telling you that you're banging it out good.
Request to speak. When it's your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press *6.
I'd ask for earplugs.
To people providing public comment, when it is your turn to speak, either at the podium or on the phone, please state which of the agenda items you would like to speak to. You will have 1 minute per
It's like a woman trying to make love to fucking Gilbert Godfrey.
For public comment.
Oh yeah.
We will tell you when your time is up.
Yeah, like that fucking voice. You couldn't. You just couldn't as a woman. You couldn't.
Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not on topic, or if we
you want to dry up, just listen to Gilbert.
You will get one brief warning from me or the council president. At that point, you need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or if you again stray off topic, you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time and we will move on to the next speaker. The items open for public comment are items 1 through 42 and 49 through 62. Again, the items that are open for public comment are items 1 through 42 and items 49 through 62. Members of the public may also speak for up to 1 minute for general public comment.
Yes or no in the
During
chat
general
room.
public
Will he
comment,
be called a
members of the public may
pumpkinhead
speak to
today?
any of the
Yes or
other
no? Put it in the
items or
chat. Will
anything else in
somebody
the city's
call him a
subject matter
pumpkinhead?
jurisdiction. For members of the public calling in, when it is your turn to speak, an automated message from
There's
Zoom
one yes
will
from
prompt you to
BJ.
press *6 to unmute yourself. If
There's
you
a
do not
couple
do
more.
so,
Jay says
council
yes.
staff
Dean
will
says
prompt
yes.
you once more.
They all say
At that
yes.
point, you need to immediately unmute yourself, or unfortunately, you will forfeit your speaking time and
Let's
we will
hope
have to move on to the next caller. Finally, because of a brief time delay between the live meeting and the
Les is
broadcast,
the only one that says
two
no
things
so
are
far.
important. First, while waiting for your turn to speak,
Les, are you reading the
please
chat?
keep an ear to the phone so you know in real time when it is your turn to press *6 to unmute.
Les is going to be the only winner.
If you're listening to this meeting on another device, please turn down the volume on that device immediately when it's your turn to
Immediately.
speak. Between the time delay and feedback, that will cause a great deal of confusion if you continue to listen on your other
Emphatically.
devices. Thank
Yes, yes. Depends on if Spindler's there. Well, fucking, what's his name? Would call him too.
Stacy Segarra Bollinger,
Ooh, right off the
Andrew
bat.
Graebner, Susan Rocha,
Remember, we want the-
Dr. Truthbay, Duarte Hernandez,
We want the
Lucy
title
Johnston,
of the song
Brenda Contreras,
and the artist.
and Rob Wadley.
And the under-over, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be 22. 22 under-over because he's coming up.
City Attorney. I would like to speak on all items on the general public comment.
Our
So you
homeboy.
have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Sure. The first item I would like to talk about is number 50. It's about the Juneteenth, the item. But I would like to know why we do not have any Juneteenth services on Figueroa. Because I know every time I drive by the street of Figueroa, I see hundreds or maybe thousands of Juneteenth on the side of the street walking. But why our mayor, why our city council, why our Bloomingfield does not visit Figueroa to provide any Juneteenth services right there? Why people are standing on the street soliciting different sort of services and then doing LAPD, council, the mayor doing nothing about Juneteenth in Figueroa. So why we are only talking about a Juneteenth in specific area, but not every single area of the city. Now, let's switch to the next item. Number 51 is about the LAPD Valley Traffic Division. So I do support 100% about additional police services to LAPD Valley Traffic Division, but I have the same concern, same complaint, that we need more police in every single district, every corner of the LAPD. We don't want to only increase the patrol in this Valley Traffic Division. We have 21 division, we have 4 traffic division, we have 25 division total, but this is not the only area need more services, because when I call LAPD 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, nobody show up. So this issue is in Valley District, but in every single else district of the LAPD, maybe for example Skid Row or whatever, Figueroa, everybody call Figueroa 911, nobody care. Now let's talking about 54. 54 about LAPD regarding the catalytic converter etching machine. I support this because during the 2020 beginning of the COVID, they are daily on a daily basis. People's vehicle are getting looted, are getting rioted. Their mechanical parts of the vehicle are getting stolen. The tire, the catalytic converter, the windshield, the steering wheel, the handbrake, whatever, the driver's seats or whatever, you name it, continue to getting stolen. But when I reach out to my council member Hernandez, no response. When I'm reaching out to LAPD, when I'm reaching out to city attorney, when I'm reaching out to the mayor's office, no response. So we need to do anything to stop the vehicle theft. And then for my general public comment, I would like to shout out to one of the finest LAPD officer, which is LAPD officer Bonfield. So one day, I was very depressed. I was sitting next to the female bathroom because, Mr. City Attorney, I have no hope being a man anymore because I'm hopeless with my 3 inches. But Officer Bonfield gave me a hug next to the female bathroom. And then she hugged me and she told me there's still hope in life. And then LAPD will protect everyone. No, doesn't matter you have 24 inches or you have a 3 inches shrimp like I do. Officer Bonfield continue to support. My safety is her priority, and everyone else, doesn't matter if it's 1 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches, there's still hope in life. So I decided to continue to live my life with confidence. I do not have to be a man. I can be a woman, and then just like Officer Bonfield, if Officer Bonfield can succeed as a female, I can succeed the same way as Officer Bonfield.
All right, keep hope alive. Let's go to the next one.
And just as a reminder to everyone who's
22
here,
over under.
During general
Over under 22. Hurry.
Within the subject matter jurisdiction of this body. So, good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
I would like to speak on the items I submitted in the kiosk that are now on your screen, Bob. That's all items and general comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
All right, so 50 is lighting up City Hall. The lighting up that happened a month and a half ago for Juneteenth. You're just paying for it now. So it's worth noting that people who get arrested and get sent to jail, but that get prison time, they're forced to work. So that's forced labor, so that should be noted.
He was buffering right there.
We have 51 from City Staffer B for taking money away from the Sunshine Canyon Community Amenities Trust Fund. That's the one that that's supposed to mitigate the impacts of a community that's living near a landfill. He's taking money away from that to give it to the LAPD. Or just... Did you actually do anything other than give money to the LAPD, John? I mean, like, that seems to be all you do, and you're taking money away from something that's supposed to help the community. We have acceptance of donations for a camp that looks like you already accepted a donation since the camp started yesterday. That's 52. We have 54. That's a motion from Kevin De Leon, the known racist, for Cadillac converter etching machines.
Cadillac.
A donation. Fuck that.
Catalytic.
Anything Kevin introduces. 55. That's like, sidewalk maintenance, which I guess it's not bad, but it's Kevin De Leon, so who knows what's going on with that one. We have item. Let's see, 60. The one where you're rushing through discipline reform for the LAPD at the last second to try to kill it, by arguing with the mayor, and then you just kill it because that's what you're trying to do. Now let's go back to item 53. That is the list of citywide special events. Let's take a look at some of these highlights from this list because it's really interesting. Now, the average subtotal for each council district spent is $158,591. The average rounded subtotal for Kevin De Leon is $622,000. And most of these are campaign events. Maybe you should charge his campaign for some of these events because this is a ridiculous amount of money for campaign events for Kevin De Leon. $5,000 for Krikorian's LAPD North Hollywood Division Car Show. And $10,000 from Yaroslavsky for the Israeli consulate. Fuck that.
Wow. Right on the money. Nobody's a winner today. 22 on the button. 22 on the button.
Which items would you like to speak to?
Tell me I can't call
please,
it.
in general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Great. So a lot of the items are business improvement districts. So let me talk about those for a second, or I'll sing about them. We're in the business of improvement districts. What are those about? We give away incentives, but then what do we get out of the deal we make with these entities? Do they pay good wages? Who do they aim to please? Or are they charging high for esoteric things and not even paying a wage that's living? Shouldn't these deals require at least a livable wage for every one of their hires? Whoa, what is the point of this? Are we getting what we want right now? Whoa, when we're improving these districts, are we including the workers now? 'Cause it seems like this deal's no good. Are you gonna show the people how it makes it better like you said it would? 'Cause God, it just seems no good.
You guys say Paramore.
Okay, on to
what track
item
name?
one.
What's
For
the track
multifamily
name?
housing bonds.
Which song?
137 units on West 3rd. I'm wondering how many bedrooms these units are going to be. We have a lot of apartments, but not many that are really big enough for families. So when we say multifamily,
Misery
I hope
business.
it's not studios and 1 bedrooms. I hope it's 2 and 3 and 4 bedrooms, the size of homes that growing families need. Council members like the ones from CD4, Nithya Raman, love to tout these big developments. But that councilwoman lives in a beautiful home in a single family area. And so I wonder if the people passing these things are gonna be living in the types of housing that is being built and how they're being assigned. Is it gonna be a lottery, and how affordable are they gonna be? These all need to be things we should be considering. 55, racist
Blitz?
Kevin De Leon is going to deal with some sidewalk issues in his district. That's great. One time, a rep from CD4 told me it would take 500 years to fix all the sidewalks in LA. Funny, because the country's not that old, but they didn't have any questions about that study or those numbers. They just said, sorry, Stace, if you have an issue with your sidewalk, it'll be 500 years. I hope your great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren can enjoy those. So 60, the mayor wants to veto a ballot measure to hone in on police disciplinary action. The very progressive, big D Democrat mayor doesn't want the LAPD to be accountable, and she doesn't want the voters to have any say in these institutions that we pay for. So this body is going to have a limited amount of time to decide whether you want to challenge that veto. So I think it is incumbent upon you to tell the mayor that the people should be making these decisions, not her. We're gonna come out tomorrow to protest the vote you have tomorrow for police funds. Not really police, Magan, former soldiers from the IDF with big guns. You'd rather protect illegal sale events than acknowledge the crimes Israel commits. So the people come out tomorrow, and I hope they shut it down tomorrow. Fuck your vote. Fuck Israel, Maganam. Fuck Zionism. Fuck the apartheid state. Fuck Israel, Maganam. Fuck Zionism. Fuck the apartheid state. It would be really respectful if Ulysses and Heather and the people chatting would pay attention. I know y'all don't like me, but at least pay the rest of the Republic more respect than you give me up here. Oh, and by the way, fuck you, KDL.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the Annie
By the way,
slash
fuck
Paramore
you.
mix-up. I like the
hysterical.
mixing up the genres. Next.
See, he knew.
Hi, I'm doing general public comment and also agenda items 1
I'm
through
sorry.
7.
And which items? Sorry?
You can't tell me this
Public
shit ain't
comment
fun.
And also
You
agenda
can't.
items 1 through 7.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items 1 through 7.
You've had
and 1 minute for general
singing.
public
You've had
comment. Before we
3-inch
start your
cock talk.
For everybody who's holding up a sign that's larger than 8 by 11, please keep in mind that our council rules do restrict sign sizes to that size. So If your size is larger than 8 by 11,
A lot of size talk today.
so the people behind you can see. Thank you. So go ahead.
A lot of talk about size. Size
My
does
name is
matter,
Brenda
apparently.
Contreras, and I'm here today on behalf of the communities in CD1, CD13, CD14, and surrounding hillside communities who are alarmed by the ecocide happening to the native plants here
Ecocide.
in Soledad. Year after year, we see the illegal removals and intentional mutilation of protected trees and shrubs, including coast live oak,
You did,
Mexican
Brandon.
elderberry, toyon, and the rare and endemic tacape washute, or Southern California black walnut tree. This is violence, and y'all are allowing this violence to go on without any consequences or changes in policy. It has been left up to community to
Thanks,
call out
Sasha.
these violent transgressions, fight for protected trees, demand accountability, and when we reach out to the city of LA to enforce the tree and shrub protection ordinance, we're met with the same gaslighting response by urban forestry that no protected trees were removed. And this is insanity. In the past month and a half alone, we have seen illegal removals.
She crying?
This is ecocide, you guys. In the past month alone, we've seen illegal removals
She's crying.
of native woodlands in Elysian Park, at a children's forest school, in Debs Park, a contractor, by contractors hired by Reckon Parks.
This is shrubby.
A beautiful 60-plus-year-old
Speaker,
black
I
walnut
can't tell
tree
which item you're
was
speaking to.
illegal.
If you could-
This
Speaker,
is general public comment and
Okay,
item
you have
3,
1
brush
minute
clearance.
for general public comment. Go ahead.
Brush clearance. 60-year-old black walnut tree was removed by a developer on city property. So these removals of black walnuts on the Southwest Museum, and now there's a proposal of 136 removals at San Pascual Park. This is alarming. Where are your priorities? Funding LAPD and IDF soldiers, they're not going to keep us safe. Trees, biodiversity, they keep us safe. They keep our communities healthy. We are not separate from nature. We've gone to Reckon Parks, we've gone to urban forestry, we've gone to the Board of Public Works.
So you're saying
and
they
no
don't
one
care.
wants to be held accountable. We're here today, city council members, we are asking for accountability. We're asking for reform on the LA Tree Protected Tree and Shrub Ordinance, and to apply to city agencies, including Reckon Parks, to apply to public lands and move the city's land stewardship to an in-house model.
That's it. It's all about those trees.
Jay Richardson, John Scudder, Benjamin Biscara Barton, and Drew, please.
And Donald Harlan and Mr. Sachs, Mr. Spindler, Mr.
Good morning. If you
Herman.
could please remind us of the name you signed up
Please.
under and the items you'd like to speak to.
The all-star
I'm speaking
lineup,
towards,
please.
Item number 3.
It's like the Mount Rushmore.
General.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general
Mr.
public
Harlan,
comment.
Mr. Sachs, Mr. Herman, Mr. Spindler. They would be on Mount Rushmore.
Less than a week ago, the Park Fire in Butte County was started in an ecologically disturbed area dominated by dried-up star thistle. Since then, the fire has
Star
burned
thistle?
nearly 400,000 acres and counting, helping to set new records in number of acres burned by wildfires this early in the year in California, a bleak omen for this year's fire season. I'm very curious how much money is being spent on brush clearance in LA when not only are many acres of dry flash fuels like black mustard and thistle going uncut, when untrained contractors are going after mature evergreen native shrubs and trees that have natural fire resilience and shade out invasives in areas where they're actually allowed to flourish, in a children's arboretum no less. This is happening in Debs, Flat Top, and most notably Elysian Park, among many other parks and green spaces in LA. Any fire ecologist could tell you that this is money very poorly spent. If we were serious about this, we'd be putting this money into not just removing invasives, but planting fire-resilient species like those that were so
General
carelessly
public comment?
cut down under Reckon Park's watch. The black walnut,
Right,
toyon,
Gino.
lemonade berry, among others. The hills and parks of LA have incredible potential as communal green spaces, but they are largely left to their own devices in an ecologically damaged state if not actively harmed, by Rec and Park's negligence. We should be taking some of the money going towards annual brush clearance and frequent brush fires, putting out frequent firefighting and putting it towards planting the types of plants that have evolved to be in this climate and ecosystem. As wildfires become an increasing threat, this is a serious safety matter that is going to continue costing LA more and more money over time as the canopy is reduced and more invasives take over. I very much hope you will take these things into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Public comment, item 3.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item number 3 and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
My name is Lucy Johnston, and I'm a student of biology and environmental policy at Occidental College. I'm here to speak on behalf of the recent deforestation at Elysian Park. The first thing that I learned as a biology student is that native plants in their native landscape are always the best at protecting against wildfires, against drought, against erosion, and against other environmental risks that face our communities. The reckless deforestation of this park should be held accountable to those who destructed it. I'm asking you today to listen to the people of Kyoto Masueli who are asking you that there need to be better protections for this park. The arborists and the contractors who have deforested this park must be held accountable for their destruction of native species such as the black walnut tree, which are protected, making this an illegal deforestation.
Speaker, you still have your 1 minute for general public comment, but just as a quick ask or request, so we have interpreters who wear headphones. I promise you we can hear you loud and clear. So if you could just, for everybody, just moderate your voice so that it's not blasting into our interpreters' ears, we would appreciate it. You still have a minute for general public comment if you'd like.
I'm going to use my moment for general comment to quote something that Kyoto Masueli wrote. In response to the ongoing ecocide of native trees in Los Angeles and the recent removal of the mature, protected native woodland in Elysian Park, we are demanding that City Council actively enforce protection of the native species in LA through reform to the brush clearance protocols and the protected tree and shrub ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Good morning.
Dr. Critical Truth Bay.
All available items and public comment.
One of my
So you have 3
favorites.
minutes for the items and 1 minute for general
She's
public
a
comment.
doctor,
Please
but-
begin with the items.
The docs in the
Okay,
house.
so the owners of property 711 West Greenlee, 1620 West 59th, 4454 South Crocker, 2105 East 114th, 8855 North Tampa, 114 North Deborah, 16608 West Park Lane, 537 South Grand Vista, 3762 South Normandy. If any of these owners are here today, know that they have a $3 million lien on their property so they can take back, make money for the city. Make sure that you reverse the lien and sue their asses. So Charles Kabbalah, I'm gonna need you to find another job, my friend, other than a race bait for these properties. 50. Relative to funding services, 4. Recognitions of Juneteenth, really? Recognition of lighting, while you have people like Alexander Mitchell, who was pulled out of his car, punched in the face while he was handcuffed, Tim McCosker. Instead of having a conversation, Tim McCosker, can you recognize Alexander Mitchell, who was punched in the face, arrested, right, in Watts, South LA? This is standard operating procedure. So before you adjourn today, make sure you honor this family, since we didn't have a statement from you or Karen Bass. 51. The amenities, a trust fund for $50,000 for LAPD. I already told you how I feel about that. You barely have a black woman on the police commission.
He wasn't. He wasn't,
when you
Jamie.
have black families that
There's
have
video
no
of it.
protections over them, this is an issue. So we would
Or at
like
least
to
if he
have
was, he
a
wasn't at the time when they
5-letter
socked him.
signature at minimum from each of the city council
Dude's-
members with the highest
dude's
rate
gonna get in
of
trouble for sure
violence towards
for
African
socking him.
Americans. So you have Price, you have District 8, District 15 as well. Most of them are having
Dude was so
conversations,
big
as
that
you
when he
see,
hit him,
ladies and gentlemen, they're having conversations.
that
while
cop
we're
either has
discussing
sponge hands or
important
that
matters.
dude has a really hard head. He's a big dude.
Okay, Rachel, put on a jacket. Please dress as if we're in business clothes, not a nightclub.
I mean, he barely even moved his head. Homeboy
Yes.
socked him
So
straight in his
wrapping up,
jaw.
On Juneteenth, I did want to say something else. Is this public comment now, or is it still
Was that
my
supposed to
agenda
hurt?
item 50?
I mean, not physically.
Still on agenda item 50.
Okay, so Juneteenth.
But-
So we're going to need some bills passed, just like they stopped Asian hate in 30 days for you. We want to actually have some protections for black families who actually built and create this country. So House Resolution 194, that was passed by Stephen Cohen. We have not since had a price tag behind that. You hear about reparations, but it's a continued study. We don't want any more studies while you beating us and killing us and shooting us in the face like Sonia Massey. Because if she wasn't black, she would still be alive today. Just saying. So Kevin De Leon, 50% of the people that's homeless in Skid Row are African Americans, so at least pass
General
the bill
public comment?
if your corrupted ass is still on that seat. All right, so resolution. Acknowledgement for slavery, incompatible with basic founding principles
Rick?
recognized by the Declaration of Independence. Price tag $1 million. Apologizes to African Americans on behalf of the people of the United States for the wrongs that were committed against their ancestors that suffered under slavery and Jim Crow. $1 million. The persons described in House Resolution 194 deserve at least $5 million and 60 acres of land, 24 on top of the 40s you still didn't give us for good measure. This is what I'd like to see for the 25 presidential candidate. I don't care if it's Camel Toe Harris or Dump Trump. Between those two, we need to see the funding for our apology that was already given on a federal level. We're not interested in what LA City or the county or the state of California, what Gavin Newsom is doing. We need to see you cut the check. Black power and reparations to all.
Next speaker.
Say Camel Toe or Dump Trump. I told you she, Dr. Critical Truth Bay with a name like that. Come on, you can't miss out.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Sure. My name's John Scudder. I'm going to address all items. United States Marine Corps veteran.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items.
Okay, I'm going to talk about item one that has to deal with the housing. I have the same problem as another person spoke about. How much is this low income? How much is this is multifamily? And how is this going to help my disabled veterans and homeless veterans to have a place to live? I also, if all the councilmen are listening, I think we need to pass proposals that every development that goes, 15% of it needs to be allocated to low-income people to reduce our homelessness. I'm also going to speak on. The sidewalk repair in De Leon's district. De Leon, I'd like you to break down your proposal for your sidewalk repair so that smaller contractors can get bonded to participate in that. Years ago, the city of Los Angeles did that so that smaller contractors like myself could have an opportunity instead of going against the big boys out there that can obtain the $20 million bonds. So I'm throwing that out there so that we keep our money in the community and we circulate that to smaller contractors. All right? The other part of that,
I was busy watching Venezuela on the other side.
It's got to deal with
getting a little hairy.
Item number 150719
That was my fault. Something.
Which has to deal with
I was watching on the other screen.
The bike lanes. I believe this pertains to the bike lane improvement that's going down Slauson Boulevard.
Oh, I am the DEI star.
And now it is extremely congested. I want to know if we're going to widen it, so that we can get our flow back. And I really want to know why a bike lane was put there and not Metro to move people.
Looks like I'm in the
It's
crowd,
nothing
sitting
if
up
the
front.
Bike lane fails, a mover bus like what happens in the valley, so that we can utilize.
I'm looking
that
for
and
Spindler
move
Herman. I don't see him.
back and forth to the corridors of the highway.
They could walk in late here. They may have already signed up on the
the other
kiosk and
item-
went back outside.
1 second. So I also want to, this is also about De Leon as well, which has to deal with the Cadillac converter etching. I also am a victim that had Cadillac converters.
It's not a
stolen
Cadillac,
by
it's a
construction
catalytic
at the tune of $850
converter.
a pop in my truck.
Catalytic.
I would like
Not Cadillac.
when
Cadillacs
this
do have them
is
though.
allocated and it goes in place, how are we going to advertise this and inform the community, even though this is sitting in Kevin De Leon's district?
I don't have a split
I believe
screen.
This should be used by
Just
everybody.
Dave.
Everybody should have
Can't do
access
it.
to this.
Don't have that
And I
capability.
still don't see how the etching is going to stop it, because me being a general contractor, all it takes is a grinder and a sanding pad, and the etching is gone. I think there needs to be another way of tagging and promoting these Cadillac converters. So, I'm on general. Is that it for my time? I'm on general now.
That is all of your time on the items. Yes.
Okay. So, general comment. I too am going to talk about parks and recreation. So, if you listen, people, I'm going to hit a couple parks in your districts. I already spoke with Ms. Hernandez today about Yale and Ord Park. It has the stairs in Chinatown. Parks do not take care of the stairs. The stairs need to be addressed. We have a lot of people, family, and elderly people use those stairs to communicate from the lower corridor to the higher corridor.
Communicate?
And we have people graffitiing. It's trash, and parks won't pick it up. The parks that's sitting on Yale and Ord, also somebody from this council needs to go down and talk to Homeboy Industries. They do lunch there every day. I spoke with the guys, 2 guys who take care of that park. After they come down for lunch, the bathrooms are completely graffitied up, and their times need to be limited on the park at night. Also, Elysian Park, same argument about the trees. However, I went to Elysian Parks because it's hot. They're natural cooling places. There's 2 bathrooms open. We need to get the bathrooms fixed. We need the bathrooms
Speaker,
open.
your
Same
time has
thing,
expired.
Lincoln Park.
Next speaker.
So basically, the parks are fucked up.
Your time has expired. Next speaker.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to speak on item 38.
You hear the echo on their side there?
You said 38. If you could pull the microphone a little bit closer so we can hear you. So
Yeah.
you have 1 minute for item number 38. Go ahead.
And public comment. So I'm here on behalf of the company Latour 5800. I'd like to appeal the proposed lien that is on the property for the amount of $1,276.56.
Shout out to the DEI audio guy.
Notifications that there was an inspection notice fee on the property.
Everything was just fine
So based on
after he
that,
turned it up.
to get any late fees or imposed additional fees removed. So we'd only like to pay or request to pay the initial amount of $356.16.
Yes, they are, people.
So if there's any district representative
They're
that
extra
I can
special.
speak to regarding this to get the matter
What's crazy is there's a lot of cars that have 4 of them. Most cars just have 2. Maybe
I'd
even
like to
1.
speak
District
to
5, is that correct?
You know?
I believe it's
But
just
the cars will.
Okay, we'll see if we can get someone from District 5 to come speak to you on the side.
Okay, and you still have
Like, what
your 1
happened?
minute for
Why all of a
general
sudden do we have the echo?
I just request
What
that
happened?
any additional fees and late fees be removed and only the initial amount of $356.
It was just fine. I mean, we weren't really fine. We started off really low. You raised it. It all was good. Then you
I think we're
fucked
going
it
to look
up.
for a representative from that district, but if you are finished with your comment, please go ahead and wait on the side. Thank you.
I'll call some more names. Lauren, Maggie Beasley, Micah Hasergian, Juan Bocanegra, Anton Farmby, and Leslie Morales.
Are we gonna get a what's it, divest out of him? Yes or no in the chat room?
Morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed
He's
up
already
under,
laughing
the
at
items
him.
you'd like to speak to.
Item number 3 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item number 3 and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Hello, council members. My name is Ben Vizcarra Barton. I am a Chicano Jew here representing Jewish Voice for Peace LA and standing in solidarity with my siblings of Goyol, Wal, and Masewali. I'm here to say that I'm thoroughly disappointed in this city's leadership. What me and my friends saw take place in Elysian Park was an offense to our humanity as Angelinos and as Jews. We as Jews are raised recognizing how intertwined our lives are with nature, and I have the utmost respect for those land stewards who have managed and cared for this land over the years, only to see them chopped and uprooted like the olive trees of Palestine. I was raised to always stand on the side of those who struggle against oppression, and that's why I, after 10 months of protesting for the Palestinian people, am standing before you today. Tomorrow, I'm urging you to vote no on a massive waste of taxpayer money in the form of a proposal to fund private security for religious institutions after the events in Pico Robertson. This proposal does not make our city nor my community more safe. And I can tell you that firsthand, when I was attacked with bear spray by a teenage boy at the Pico Robertson synagogue, Magen Am was nowhere to be found.
Okay,
and
can we go to
neither
general
will
public
any.
comment?
What was that?
A general public comment?
Yes, thank you. Magen Am was nowhere to be found. This proposal is not here to protect Jewish people, and the funds should be appropriated towards the demands of Wal Masewali, which include enforcement and reform of the LA Protected Tree and Shrub Ordinance and the establishment of an in-house model of land stewardship. Thank you.
Anybody see this? If this is a clip or... Because I don't think this is live. I think this is just the loops. This might have happened already. I don't know.
Good morning. So again, even if you're at the podium, I'm going to ask that everybody please adhere to the size restrictions on our signs. So good morning. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items that you'd like to speak to.
Yes, my name is Drew. I'm going to speak for general public comment and item 3.
Okay, go ahead. You have 1 minute for item 3 and 1 minute for general public comment.
No, that's Venezuela.
My name is Drew, and I live and work in El Sereno, Tongvaland. One of the most infuriating aspects of the ecocide that took place at the Children's Arboretum in Elysian Park was the gaslighting from city officials that attempted to deny that protected shrubs and trees were destroyed in the name of brush clearance. This culture of denial is what is at play on the national and international levels regarding the ongoing genocide in Gaza and the whole of Palestine, and is in part what propels us into the council chambers today. Make no mistake, the issues of brush clearance in LA and genocide in Gaza, at times referred to by the IDF as mowing the lawn, are connected. As a native plant landscape professional, it warmed my heart to engage with and educate my peers while cleaning up the mess left by Park and Rec's
these are
contracted
videos.
brush clearance operation.
This probably all happened yesterday
to
or
steward this land
week.
is and always has been present.
It's not
If the
live.
city cannot steward the land, give the land back to those who can.
Should be getting dark there, too.
General public comment?
Councilmember Soto Martinez, we look forward to your response to our concerns in Elysian Park. Thank you very much.
I'm telling you, not in Kansas, no mo. Shit, we could have that here in November.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Hi, my name is Micah Hasurgian, and I'm here for item 3 and general public comments.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 3 and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Hi, good morning. My name is Micah Hasurgian. I live in Northeast Los Angeles. The brush clearance policies that this city follows are extremely outdated and irrelevant for the actual landscape of Los Angeles. Prime example is what happened at Elysian Park, where clearing of all these fire-resilient native species to allow room for fire-prone invasive species to grow just increases the fuel that is going to be a fire risk to the city. So we need brush clearance reform to include protections for our native tree species. It needs to be on the mailers that go out to both private residences, and it also needs to be more inclusive in training of in-house not contractors, but in-house staff who understand the landscape of Los Angeles. And for my general public comment, I would like to just urge you all to please reform the protected tree and shrub ordinance. It's not being enforced right now. Urban forestry continually gaslights the community when we tell them and provide them clear evidence that native protected tree species are being removed. One of the oldest black walnuts on protected public property was just removed by a developer. These hundreds of trees in Elysian Park, Debs Park, it's continuing to happen. It needs to apply to public property. It needs to have a clear enforcement and accountability process. And we are expecting full accountability from the council members, rec and parks, urban forestry for this ecocide that is continually happening in our city. Protecting our native tree species should be of utmost importance when, instead of planting new trees, we need to protect our urban canopy that already exists. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Next speaker.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Lauren, item 3, general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
So we need a brush clearance reform to incorporate protections for native plants. As mentioned just now, native plants are fire resistant, and when they're all cleared off, that makes room for more invasives like mustard to take over, and that actually exacerbates fire season. So the recent clearing at Elysian Park was really counterproductive. Another invasive called castor bean, it's especially aggressive this year due to all the rainfall we had this year.
I love castor beans.
Castor bean it's toxic, it grows very fast, and it's hard to remove, and it's not something that we want taking over park areas where our kids play. And so we need clear guidelines on how to identify and manage native plants and protected trees.
General public comment?
And general comment, with the recent clearing, the damage has already been done, but at this point, we need to set up a process between city agencies and the public for accountability. We just want the Los Angeles community as a whole, kids, elders, disabled, we want everyone to be able to, experience nature and have like a healthy environment in the future. Thank you.
I'll call some more names. Dylan Littlefield, Greg Gust, Guadalupe Villeja, Jermaine and Heidi Love, and Jessica Sanchez.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yeah, hi, I am Maggie Beasley, and I'm wanting to make general public comment and speak to items number 1 through 7.
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Okay. I am a concerned constituent of CD13, and I'm speaking to the ecocide and deforestation that took place next to the Gracie Simmons Lodge in Elysian Park. This was a children's arboretum and a mature native plant forest that was there that was completely razored due to an alleged brush clearance. And when Coyote Masewale shared what had happened and I went out and saw the space, it was completely unrecognizable. I used to see kids as part of the forest school in there every day, and it was completely lush, safe enclosure. And that school, without any warning, has no place to go. The space was a designated educational area, and there was an agreement with all of those over 400 families and children that was completely violated. Also, razoring these areas and removing all the native plants not only left all of the fledgling plants with no shade and
could be
exposure
calling
during
in
the
something
heat right now, but it leaves open territory for invasive plants to come in. My cousin died last year fighting a forest fire above.
So, Speaker, you've used your 1 minute for item number 3. So if you'd like, you can move on to the other items you mentioned. Those are bid items, though. So or you can continue this topic during general.
Okay, I'll continue.
1 minute for general public comment.
1 minute for general public comment?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. The reality of forest fires and the loss of native plants to sustain ourselves is not lost on me. You can't just put whatever ecosystem you want. So even if you're not part of CD13, I encourage you to uphold the native plant preservations in your area. I've lost family members due to forest fires. I've had the town I was born in burned down. These are all violations of agreements. It's essentially like continued genocide and treaty violations to not protect these native plants. This is our land. We live here, and you not paying attention to the erasure and removal of native species here that will sustain our lives and support our children is a huge violation and disrespect, and it needs to be prioritized. Thank you for my time.
Thank you, Speaker. Next speaker,
Yes,
please.
a lot of them. They just can't hold back their emotions. That's why you see the Karens go crazy on camera. Those are the ones who can't control it at all.
Please remind us of the name you signed up under.
Whether
and
it's
the items you'd like
crying,
to
whether
speak
it's
to.
anger.
Hi, my name is Juan Carlos Bocanegra. I'm here for the Cecil Hotel on 640 South Main
Cecil.
Street.
That's the haunted
There's
joint.
a couple things that are wrong at the Cecil. and
Fucking
I-
haunted. That's what's wrong,
You
bro.
have 1 minute for general public comment. Go
We've
ahead.
been murdered in that joint.
This is my first time here and I'm nervous, and the elevator didn't work for almost 2 months. Right now it's working, but it only works going up, not going down. They have to use the key for the. I'm on the 15th floor. I have a pain. I have a back problem. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I believe Hakla hasn't paid. Cecil Hotel. I know he's in bankruptcy. This person leads it to this person, this person to this person, this person to this person. So I don't know what to do now to either sue this person regarding the deposit and regarding, it's just a whole mess out there, and I hope somebody can do something about the Cecil. Hakla hasn't paid, that's what I heard, Hakla hasn't paid the Cecil for like 6, 7, 8 months. I wonder what's gonna happen to that money, if it's gonna go back to the city, or if it's going to go back to Hakla, or if it's going to go, who has that money? Who has that money? Who's that money going to go to? Not only for me,
Speaker,
but for
your
a
time
lot
has
of people.
expired.
And that's it.
Should be going to the landlord, but it'll probably go back to Hakla.
Thank
And
you,
then they'll
Speaker.
take
Next
their
speaker.
kid to Barbados and shit like that on your dime. And Hakla is welfare, for the ones who don't know. It's Section 8 housing. They control the low-income housing.
Leslie Morales, leasing director for the Cecil Hotel.
Good afternoon. So you
Good
have 1
afternoon.
minute for general public comment.
Sure.
Go ahead.
We're here because we need assistance. We need assistance. We're housing the unhoused and in many cases the unwanted. And we need assistance of mental health and different services for our community of the Cecil Hotel. We've repaired our elevator numerous times and tenants break them when they're having a mental health episode, as well as their units. They have difficult times living indoors without becoming an indoor encampment. So we need assistance from the city council to help us provide mental health component in the home, in the hotel, as well as other services that are needed for all of our residents. Thank you.
So imagine being the landlord. You fix
Speaker.
the
Next
fucking elevator, which should work for years, and then 3 months in they just tear it apart and break it. Would you keep fixing it? Yes or no? Put it in the chat room. You're the landlord right
Father
now.
Dylan Littlefield, I'll be making a general public comment.
Okay. So you have 1
I
minute.
serve the Cecil Hotel as a chaplain and advocate, both for staff and residents. You're hearing from a lot of residents today that are telling their stories about the Cecil. Here's the big problem.
There's two
Many of our
no's.
residents,
Nope.
many of the problems are rooted in unchecked, untreated mental illness and drug addiction. Mental breakdowns, all of these are treatable, but
There's a
they're all at
yes.
the root of the problem. Unmitigated rage, mental health breakdowns. The people that are experiencing these are causing drastic damage to the building. And with the limited resources the Cecil Hotel has right now, there is no way that management can keep up with it. Leslie and Paula are fierce advocates for the tenants and residents of the Cecil. They do everything they can, some things behind the scenes that residents don't even know about. They're doing amazing
I
work
bet,
on a
Rambly.
shoestring budget. We need city council's help. We need a commitment from the city to help clean up the Cecil, so the city and its residents can thrive. Thank you.
Sound is terrible.
Before the next speaker begins, I will call a few more names. Jovan Houston, Paula Hastings, Lisandro
I wouldn't want to take the elevator either, but
Ophelia Estrada.
15 floors up, you're going to take that elevator. There's only too many dude, could you imagine walking up with groceries? 15 flights? Be so tired. I don't give a fuck how fucking in shape you are. 15 flights with all your shit.
Good afternoon. If you could
And
please
doing that
remind
every
us of the
day.
name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Jermaine and Heidi Love, item 34.
Okay, so you have
general comment.
You have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin.
All right. Well, we had an RV that was parked there. We had it removed. Anyway, there was a lien put on the house, and we didn't receive any of the paperwork. We had paid what we thought was a lien warning that had sufficed for what we thought was wrong and what was owed. And so we didn't get any other paperwork on it either. So we just wanted to see what we can do to alleviate, the fine if possible, or how we could amend this, or go ahead.
And so, I'm sorry, a couple questions. So did you say item 34 or 38?
34.
34.
And it's 20525 Payne Street.
Dude, there's a little documentary on
And
Netflix
section
about
third
this
district, so
hotel
you
that
could-
they're talking about.
After you finish speaking, my staff will meet you
Haunted
on the
by,
side.
I think, some
over there.
And did you sign up separately for
girl
public comment?
ghost
You
or
don't
something
normally
like
do joint
that.
Public comment.
I
You're
did
welcome.
not know that. I signed up Jermaine and Heidi Love. So.
You know,
they're
it's
the
a
owners
bunch of it's a bunch of crazy characters all in one crazy low-income hotel.
Well, you can each have a minute for public comment. You each signed up?
It's okay. 1 minute is fine.
That's fine.
If you're okay with that, then go ahead. You have 1 minute for general public.
And
Meanwhile,
my
we've
staff will
wasted
talk to you about the
45
lien issue
seconds.
As soon as you're done on the side.
Perfect. Thank you.
Then we'll just talk to him and.
Oh, God, just talk.
Thank you.
Next speaker. So we wasted another minute going back and forth, and you didn't even use the minute. Got it. Makes sense.
My name is Greg Guest. I'm here for public comment.
Okay, so good afternoon. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Thank you. I've been a resident at the Hotel Cecil for almost 2 years now, and first of all, I'd like to repeat and amplify what my other fellow residents have said. Like many others, the Hotel Cecil was my first physical mailing address in years and represented my first tentative step in returning to mainstream society. I have to say that when I was confronted with the often filthy, degrading, dangerous, and physically unaccommodating conditions at the Hotel Cecil, it was very discouraging. One wonders if the streets were not better in comparison. I certainly wonder if it wasn't better for the elderly and disabled residents that I see literally crawling up the stairs because the elevators have been broken for months. In my view, the first step of the street should be as welcoming and encouraging as possible. We should over-invest in people in this situation because it's the critical link in the chain to return people to mainstream society. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Ciao.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Paula Hastings. I am the assistant manager at the Cecil Hotel located at 640 South Main Street. I'm here on behalf of both the tenants and the building itself. Being a manager at the Cecil Hotel for just over a year and dealing with Kevin DeLeon's office and several law enforcement, we are doing our very best to pull the building together. People are focused on what the past of the Cecil is. The present is that we house over 300 people there now. Everyone there does not have a voucher. If that building is closed down, they are going to be homeless again. Karen Bass's main issue that she stood on when she was running for mayor was to approach the homeless population. Doing that, we have done that at the Cecil. As my coworker said, we do have issues of mental health. We have issues of damage to the building. We can use whatever assistance that the city is willing to give to us. I plead to you, not just for my job, because I can do what I do anywhere. But the homeless that we house are people that are dropped off and left and never looked back on again. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Good afternoon.
Speaker, welcome.
You would please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Javon Houston, general public comment.
You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Well, welcome back, city council members. Hope you guys enjoyed your recess. But while we sitting here, you guys are doing recess, we waited 475 days for this policy to be passed. We're asking for a Olympic wage now. Everything has gone up. Food, gas, even my car insurance have went up.
You voted for it.
Hosting the Olympic Games will mean airport workers and tourism workers will be in debt. How is that? Because I have COPD. I have constantly go to the doctor to pay a copay. That is meaning my bills are left behind because I have to make a choice, my health or pay my rent. These are real issues that airport workers deal with.
Just turn it down, Gordon.
We are asking for Olympic wage now, 25 now, 30 by 2028. Please support this policy. Thank you.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
You guys are fucked up.
Good afternoon. So this is going to be a general public comment.
Okay. So you have 1 minute.
My name is Lisandro Presa, and I work for Paradise at LAX since 2021. Terminal 2 and Tom Bradley making, as a cashier, making $19.74 per hour. I am a proud member of Unite Here Local 11 and voter in District 15, and I also live in District 15. The policy to raise the wage for tourism workers was introduced over a year ago. Every week that goes by without this policy, workers like me are losing nearly $200 per week. I have an autoimmune disease and I need this amount just to cover my medications. At the same time, the cost of food and gas has skyrocketed. After my bills are paid, I often don't have enough left over for basic needs. I'm surviving because of the help from my partner. Without him, I wouldn't have enough money for food. Many of my co-workers are in similar or worse conditions. This policy is very critical. We're waiting for you guys to vote on it, please.
Thank you, Speaker.
I like the hype in the room. Pumping it up.
Calling a few more names. P. Scherf, S-H-E-R-F, Richard Shave, Roberto Munoz, Rodney Wyatt, Samer Atiye, Sean Smith, Thelma Marin.
And Connie Lingus.
Good afternoon. If you could please
Oh, here he
remind us
goes.
of the name you
Shit,
signed
yeah.
up under and the items you'd like to
Logan
speak to.
Paul.
Hi, my name is Sean Smith. I am doing a public comment.
you have 1
I'm
minute.
here today to support fixing the Cecil Hotel. I recently saw a handicapped woman having to drag themselves up these stairs because the elevator was down. This was disheartening to see. The Cecil is 14 stories, over 300 residents, and generally only has one elevator that is usually down.
How come Homer
This
said
is
50? He was on the
unacceptable for
15th
a
floor.
building this size
Lying.
and creates fire and access issues for LAPD and paramedics. We need more oversight through our LAFD high-rise building inspectors and more assistance from the city. Over the past 5 years, I've served our downtown neighborhood council and have managed a building at 9th and Broadway, and I understand firsthand how important it is to have functioning elevators. Thank you.
So you're telling me your socialist housing isn't good?
To your right.
Got it. Okay.
Next speaker.
Makes sense. That's why we don't have it. That's why we get out and work every day to have things that are better.
afternoon. If you
That
could
way we
please remind us of
strive
the name you signed
to
up
have
under and the
more.
items you'd like to speak to.
Not just
I
happy
signed
with
up
the
under
crumbs and
Jose
become
Gama,
complacent.
And I am speaking on item 3 and general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
So the first thing is on the fire brush ordinance. While I believe and understand the importance of clearing vegetation to protect our people and our buildings, as is often the case with the city, it is in conflict with other desires and visions, including one to restore our environment and protect the people that live in it. What tends to happen is that LAFD and the operation that they run kill trees, and that is something that happened at Elysian Park, and it is something that happens every year, and it goes against things like planting trees for energy conservation, which is what DWP does. California Natural Resources plants trees to create habitat. CAL FIRE does it to reduce the urban heat island effect, and this is to protect our people. We're going through climate change, and we shouldn't be destroying our trees. We should get our things together and respect the LA Tree and Shrub
General public
Protection
comment?
Ordinance. So this one is on general public
No,
comment. Good afternoon. On this beautiful day, I want to talk about ecocide in the midst of climate change. Earlier this summer, Recreation and Parks oversaw the destruction of native habitat at Elysian Park. Not only native habitat, it is also shade for all the park goers, and it is a very, very popular place to be at this time. I know that you all have air conditioning in your cars. You have air conditioning in these halls, but people don't have that out there. And it is easy. It's very easy to lose focus of what people out there live, and so that happens. Hundreds if not thousands, of native species have been forcibly killed, displaced, or left to starve by the actions of the city. I'll keep it short. It's very bad, and there's a lot of people walking through that park that are very distrustful of what you're doing to their parks and their communities. So protect the native
Speaker, your
trees.
time has expired. Speaker, we need to move on to the next speaker. So, next speaker.
Thank you, Golf. Appreciate you. You rock, bro.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind
Thank
us
you,
of
Golf.
the name you signed
And
up
of
under
course,
and the items you'd like to
guns.
speak to.
I am public comment. I
Okay, so
need
you have 1 minute.
translation.
Huh?
My name is Roberto Muñoz. He trabajado en Fly Food por 11 años como lavaplato.
My name is Mr. Muñoz, and I've been working in Fly Food for the last 11 years.
Oh, they're back from
Durante la
LAX.
pandemia, como muchos, me despidieron y poco después empecé a vivir en mi auto porque me subió la renta y no pude seguir pagando.
Flying
Like
rent
many,
and
during
flying
the
foods.
pandemic, I was let go, and I was not able to keep up with paying my rent, so I had to start living in my car.
El salario que me da Flying Food de 21, 23 no alcanza para pagar renta, comida y otros gastos.
The salary that I get from Fly Food, 21, 23, it's not enough to pay all my expenses.
Tengo 3 hijos en Colombia, les mando remesa todos los meses.
I have 3 children in Colombia, and I need to send them money every month.
Uno piensa que al llegar a este país americano las cosas van a estar mejor.
One thing is that when you arrive to this country, the American country, that things are going to get better.
Pero estas compañías como Flying Food se toman ventajas, no pagan lo suficiente para poder salir adelante.
But this kind of companies, just like Flying Food, and they take advantage and they don't pay enough so you can survive.
Por eso les estamos pidiendo al concilio que pase un mejor salario de $25 la hora ya.
That is the reason why we're here, to ask you, the council, to please make sure that they're going to give us an increase of $25 an hour now.
Thank you. Gracias.
25 bones an hour. Shit.
Hello, Council. My name is Richard Shave. I'm here to speak on just general public comment. Just to further reiterate, the Hotel Cecil needs help. I hope that this outpouring of the residents this morning helps Council District 14 identify some next steps. It's a very important place. It, I think, epitomizes all of the problems the city faces, both the city, nonprofits, and private equity in helping to address homelessness and housing needs crisis. So thanks for paying attention, CD14, and I look forward to the next steps.
Thank you, Speaker. Before the next speaker begins, I will call a few more names. Timothy Maddox, Todd Lacey, Tyrone Cobbs, Wilmington, NC.
Good morning, council members. My name is Tim Maddox, and I've been a worker at LAX for almost 30 years now. I'm a proud member of SEIU USWW. My co-workers and I are the backbone of an economic engine and LA's multi-billion-dollar tourism industry. We are essential to the functioning of one of the busiest airports in the world. LA will soon be hosting the World Cup, another Super Bowl, and soon the 2028 Olympics. Airport workers shouldn't be forced to choose between paying rent, buying food, spending time with our families, or working multiple jobs just to make ends meet. We've been waiting way too long for this to pass. LAX is experiencing record number of travel now.
We can barely see him,
Go
but that
ahead,
stinks
pass
over there.
the living wage ordinance. We also pay almost $1,000 a year for parking. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Speaker.
That's fucked up. They make you pay to
Speaker.
pay to park
Good
to
morning,
come
everybody.
work.
God bless. I'm Nicky Cecil.
They're dirty,
and,
dog.
I'm sleeping on a roll-out bed, which is not cool. But God is good. There's roaches. There's bed bugs. There's a lot going on. To give you guys a head up, I was number 2 in the nation for running back, coming out of the foster system from 5 to 21. Never talked to my mom at all through the system. When I got out and found my mom homeless at 22 years old in Santa Monica, I did whatever it took to get my mom off the streets.
Somebody farted in there?
From St. Joseph
This dude fart?
to all the services.
They're
that
all
she was
out of
going
there
through
now.
At the time. I'm still positive. I'm still happy. I'm still motivated. By me being number 2 in the nation as a sophomore coming out of Santa Barbara at Rigetti High School, I ran behind Napoleon Kaufman and went to Lompoc.
I remember Napoleon Kaufman.
Lompoc to Washington Huskies to the NFL, played with the Raiders. So I am a success story, but I'm wondering why am I still homeless at 49 years old? Because of what? Lack of what? Guidance, mentorship. And at the end of the day, God still gave me hope and said, you know what? We're gonna put you in a temp agency and let you be a cook through InstaWork. I went to InstaWork at $20 an hour.
My girlfriend's right there in the white.
The Los Angeles Rams 2020 season.
Speaker, so your time has expired?
What's he talking about right now?
Okay, great. So,
Bro, you already cleared the room.
Absolutely gross.
Okay, we have to give each speaker the same amount of time legally.
Legally, we don't care.
I'm on Skid Row at the Cecil, sleeping on like a chair like this.
okay. So, unfortunately, we have to give everybody the same amount of time, so we can't allow you to speak at the podium. If you'd like to wait, we can see if there's a representative available to speak to you at the side.
That
But
doesn't
we do
give a
need to move
fuck
on to
either.
the other speakers for public comment.
Thank you, God bless.
Okay, is that it for the in-person speakers? There's one more.
Blobs in there. Look at that face.
Otherwise, we'll move to the phones.
Where's my girl, man? I seen her back
we can
there.
move to the phones.
There she goes. Let her get up there and talk. Please, let her get up there and talk. Oh, she coming. She coming.
Is this the last speaker?
No, there's one more. My girlfriend.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Don't deny my
Which
girlfriend.
items would
She's
you like to
right
speak to?
there.
I'm speaking about the Cecil Hotel. My name is Jessica Sanchez. I'm a case manager in the nonprofit housing industry. I would imagine some of you probably know the CEOs of some of the nonprofit housing people involved in these issues. There is zero accountability for buildings, SROs, such as the Cecil and such as other SROs, which
Thanks,
house
steadily.
hundreds, if not
Trying to keep it
thousands
under
of
wraps.
people in downtown Los
Little
Angeles.
junior coming.
There's a lot of people in these buildings. These buildings are falling apart. There's no resources available, and the resources that are available, as you've heard before, are often taken away from people if they don't meet certain requirements.
That's
A
right,
lot of
Gigi.
buildings are being built. A lot of case managers are being hired. Case managers are being tasked with keeping people in their units. We cannot keep people in their units, even if they have money, when they have other issues going on, mental health issues, not being able to reach their building because their elevator is not working in their building. Roach infestations and bedbug infestations are a huge issue in the SROs in downtown Los Angeles, if not all public housing. Thank you.
Well, I'm sure the building when it was built didn't have those, and then you move in people that have mental illness and are dirty, and then they bring the roaches. So how do you stop the roaches?
I'm a resident of the Cecil.
So you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Okay, thank you. So far, everything everybody's saying is correct.
It's not against the law to be dirty.
Not a very good place to live for people like me who are trying their hardest to live in a, to have a place to live. I've been home. I was homeless for 7 years, and the elevator doesn't work. It's bad, and I would love to live in a better place. And
Roaches have rights too.
Thank you. Please, I guess you're right.
This is my girl right here. She's looking good today too.
This is a problem about some of the shelters downtown. You have AIs coming in at night when people are sleeping, the ladies are sleeping, scaring the death out of some of the ladies there. They sleep in little closets with beds in them. You can't see over in the next part. Some of the people sleep very soundly. They don't hear it. They come in and rattle papers, and I don't know if they're real. They talk, and some of the ladies are scared half to death. They need help with that. I believe it's more than one shelter having that problem.
I agree too. I love her, man. Shout out to her.
Okay.
Fucking AIs, man. They're ruining everything. All right, phone call time.
Mr. Attorney, is there anything else?
Here comes the phone calls.
We're going to focus our comments on the agenda itself. I recommend that we exhaust public comment on item number 2. So if there's anyone here who has not yet been given the opportunity to speak and would like to speak on item number 2, please come to your left-hand side of the council chambers.
It's always the AIs over here doing stuff. They live in little closets over to the left.
Let's move to the phones.
She's just phenomenal. I mean, you can't buy that gold. It oozes out of
What's
it.
up, nerds and virgins? Ross Landers, Los Angeles private investigator. All open items and general public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Number 3, if the park fire doesn't show you why we at Smoke and Scan support abating the weed, I'm not sure what will. The people that are against this, I hope their houses don't have any wood studs. I hope that their clothes, phones, and vehicles they carpooled in to get here today weren't made in factories. And what were all their signs made of? And for the record, I've found big hoses with wood for most of my life, and I've never seen a tree swing a hose to fight fire. In LA or Colorado, I'm pretty sure fire beats wood, like your mom. KDL sidewalk. I agree, we should get smaller contractors to do the work. I also think that we should get more veteran-owned companies to do this work. If we're only going to give them 1 day a year for their sacrifice, we could at least help them with some city contracts. Number 1, $25 million for 137 usants. I'm just a humble PI with a big-ass dick. I'm not a fancy rocket surgeon, but it doesn't seem to me like that's a good deal. It seems like we should be able to get more for our money. What happened to the mayor asking her rich friends to take a homeless family in? Have any of you taken a family in? I'm happy to be back from being undercover in the San Francisco County jails trying to flush out a smuggling ring. General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
Thank you. Ended up giving deep cavity searches to some of the female guards. I found one of the main suppliers of the fentanyl was here in LA. Rico, I'm on your trail. A record amount of drugs are moving through LAX now. On Thursday, we'll mark another trip around the moon for Brocklanders. If you want to celebrate or blow morning candles, email brocklanderslapi@gmail.com. Randy, looking at you. Bring the dot com.
Oh.
You guys have had all this time off, and you're still moving stuff out because you're not ready. Is that code for the donations haven't come in? And looking at an autographed picture of Muhammad Ali in my office right now, shout out to Muslim American. I hope during that time you are able to find a Muslim bakery that will bake a cake for gay and lesbian weddings. I don't want to toot my own horn, but Brocklanders is a top shelf PI, and I can't find one. And shout out to HUT for women everywhere getting installed in positions that they don't deserve and aren't qualified for. You guys have a good day. Another shout out to
Caller, your time has expired. Next caller.
That's 2 shots, Brock.
A law enforcement type of guy.
Happy birthday, Brock, coming
who was
up.
hired by people to stop these bad individuals.
Tell him, Brock. Fucking Brock, that was a fantastic
Caller,
call.
which items would you like
That
to
was
speak on?
fantastic. Rocket surgeon. Not a fancy rocket surgeon.
Caller, may you please unmute yourself?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
we Robot
can.
Dog.
All right. It's now 12:06. My word. The LA Sleazy Council is the most corrupt
Speaker,
local
which
government
items would
in
you like to
history.
speak to?
This is public comment only.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay, is the only or the most corrupt local government in the history of the United States, where petty pink-faced corrupt Armenian dictator Paul Krikorian has indicated embezzling polygamist criminal Kern Price and Sleazy Dawson to voting daily with the unelected Heather Hutt. The black community has zero representation from these incompetent, corrupt, sellout, self-serving, indicted Black Uncle Tom criminal members of this corrupt city council. I demand all their resignations. I demand the resignation of corrupt Paul Krikorian, but you're soon to be exiting. Public black faces occupy 20% of the Sleazy Council, yet black people are nearly 50% of the homeless, 50% of the incarcerated, 50% of the unemployed. Their resignations are definitely demanded. Have a great afternoon, everybody.
I love Robot Dog.
Thank you, Speaker.
I haven't heard her husband calling in a while.
Caller, which
She's
items
funny,
would you
man.
like to speak on?
She makes me laugh. She's always giving him shit. Hello.
Call in user 3. May you please unmute yourself?
My name is Jason. I'm a Smoking Scale viewer. I can hear it now.
Caller, this is your last opportunity to speak. Please press *6 to unmute, and that is user number 3. Okay, we're gonna have to move on to the next caller.
They're over here muting fools again. The DEI guy. There he is right there. In the gray shirt up top. In the
Caller,
corner.
please unmute yourself. Caller ending in digits 1403. May you please unmute yourself?
All items in general comment.
So you have 3 minutes for the items.
Viewer
and
discretion
1
is
minute for general
advised.
Public comment. Please begin with the items.
What's going on? I got through, human. Well, go ahead. Yes. So let's talk about the lighting districts. Fuck all the lighting districts. And shame on the council members. Which ones? Shame on Imelda for not turning on her street lights. And yet you want to put more street lights up and hide more taxes in the process. I call it the Tracy Park plan because she's more evil than Mike Bonin. So, we have to begin with the items quickly. Everybody take notes. Today's drinking game word is fuck. Fuck item number 1. Fuck item number 2. Hold on. Go ahead. Fuck item number 3. Item 4 I'm neutral on. Item 5 I support. Item 6, fuck item number 6. Item 7, fuck item number 7. Item 8, fuck item 8. Item 9, fuck item 9. Item 10, fuck item number 10 as well. Item 11, I'll support it if there's an amendment that current price serve 10 years instead of 3. Noted. Item number 16, I like it. Item number 17, fuck item number 17. Take a drink, you drunk. Thank you. Item number 18, fuck item number 18. Item number 21, I will skip to it. Fuck it too. Item number 24, fuck item number 24. Item number 25, fuck that as well. Item number 26, I like it. Item number 27, fuck that one too. And the mother it came from. Item number 27, fuck it. Item number 28, fuck it. Item number 29, I'm neutral on it. Item number 30, I'll defer. Two. With no objection, I'll defer to Bob Blurpenfeld. Item 31, fuck item 31. Item number 32, I think is a Zionist item. I will defer it. Item number 33, fuck
General
that
public
one.
comment? You got to go to general public comment now.
Oh, there he is. The alleged Zionist. So again, that was a beautiful song based on the famous song "The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow." Words and lyrics by Goat Puppet. The sun will come out tomorrow. Fuck all the Zionists tomorrow. Come what may. Kamala will be president tomorrow, and Israel will lose all of its bombs. Come what may. Hezbollah and Gaza will fuck you tomorrow. Vote for Kamala if you agree.
If you're gay.
That was beautiful. Let's give him a hand on that. Gee, crap. Thank you. And again, I want to wish everybody a happy return to City Hall. Fuck each and every one of you and the mothers that hatched you out of your eggs and cocoons. And finally, fuck the Olympics as well. Go
Speaker, your time has expired.
Oh my God, Mike dropped it right now. So it's
Speaker,
fuck
your
the
time has
Olympics.
expired. And before we move on to the next caller, thank you. Before we move on to the next caller,
Straight gold.
Just for everybody who's just now tuning in
Gold.
and this is new to them, welcome.
Can't make
This
that
is
goal.
something
He
that we deal
oozes
with on a
it.
regular basis. We do have to allow everyone we do have to allow the speakers to provide their public comment. So I apologize for the comments.
Hopefully
that were
Mr.
made,
Herman's
but we
on the
have to allow
phone.
them to speak during the public
He doesn't
comment
call
portion
in
of
too
this
much,
meeting.
though.
So next caller.
Either they're in person or not. Mr. Harlan, hopefully?
Caller ending
Jason?
in 5500.
Jason, not.
Please press *6 to unmute yourself.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Which items would you like to speak to?
Hi, this is Nancy Casanova. I live in CD14, and I'd like to speak on all items.
How do you go on after him?
Okay, and just before you begin, I know that
He
it's
just
been
tore the house
a long time
down.
since we've listed the items that are open. So for all of the callers, the items
just
that are
looking at her
open
like,
for public
"No one's
comment on the
listening to
agenda
me now."
are items 1 through 42 and items 49 through 62. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items first. Thank you.
Okay, just going to jump around. One thing, living downtown here in CD14, I understand that Councilmember De Leon is working on the sidewalks here, which is great, but we also have a lot of housing insecure people. We've heard from a lot of people that live in the Cecil today. I've helped with the LA Tenant Union downtown local chapter. They're having issues with SROs as well. You haven't seen me there in chambers for a while because I myself have dealt with a wrongful eviction, which I fought and won, thanks to nonprofit organizations here in Los Angeles. And I can tell you from the first time having to do this myself, it's a very difficult process. It's not easy. It's not easy to get help. And there should be more accountability and transparency in holding these, building management, property management companies accountable. Especially the nonprofit ones that are, running a lot of these SRO buildings. They're not taking care of them. They're not taking care of the people And while they are housing some people, these people are becoming
So, Speaker, I can't tell which
more at
item you're
risk.
speaking to. Can you please identify the item on the agenda? You're also welcome to speak to
All right,
this
Golf.
item.
Thank you so much for hanging
move
out.
on.
Thank you for the dono. Have a great day.
The
See you on
another
the next one.
issue, preparing the downtown neighborhood for a lot of things and working on the sidewalks. We have a motion, well, we have an ordinance that y'all voted on to pass, and it's still waiting in the committee, I believe the Civil Rights and Neighborhoods Committee. It's the rodeo ban, and we haven't heard anything about that in a while. I will remind you that culture is not an excuse for animal abuse. I have presented the City Council with research showing that when that rodeo takes place here in Los Angeles, there's a significant increase in violent crime in the area. And because you guys passed the rodeo ordinance, but it's not completed and the language needs to be finalized, it actually hasn't taken effect yet, obviously. And so we had the rodeo this past year, and I have
So,
been one of
Speaker,
the people
again,
there
respectfully,
protesting.
I don't believe this is on today's agenda. So if you could please stick to the agenda items, or else I'm going to move you to general public comment where you can speak to all of this.
Okay, that's fine, I'll move on to another one. I became one of my own statistics. I was assaulted, so I just wanted to bring that back to y'all's awareness that this needs to be passed. Further moving on, protecting the native plants in the area should be an obvious thing that we should be doing, right? And obviously this stuff, these trees in Elysian Park were protected.
Thanks, Mac.
We're supposed to be protected, and recognizes that. And so I don't think this is a question of whether.
Caller,
I
that's
don't
your
think
3
anybody's
minutes
out
on the
there
items. You have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Do a dab, Tony.
Okay.
What you
I don't
waiting
think
for?
it's intentional. I think it's just incompetence, and so there needs to be more oversight into that.
Thank you, Mac.
Now,
That's loud.
general public comment, I would like to address that tomorrow we will be voting on this motion to fund $2 million to and I know you've changed the language to be more vague, but it's still pretty clear to us. We can't be darboed out of this. The facts are, it's not the anti-genocide protesters who are supporting innocent Palestinians that are being violent. It's the Zionist, hateful people attacking them, and that's on record. You can't take away the videos of all these people, attacking and stuff. At that real estate event in Pico Robertson, the only person arrested was a pro-Israel Zionist supporter, and it has nothing to do with religion. It's there's more Christian Zionists in America than there are actual Jewish Americans in this country. So.
Speaker with the digits 8188.
Hey, dunked her.
Please press *6 to unmute yourself. Caller with the digits 8188.
I can take a look, see if there's something.
Good afternoon. I wanted to amplify the voices that I'm calling for change within Reckin Park.
Would you like to speak to?
Is that
Oh, I'm
Laser
sorry,
Lady?
general public comment and item number 3.
I think that's my
So
other
you have
girlfriend.
1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please speak.
Hey,
in
listen
the
to her
item.
voice.
I wanted to amplify the voices in the hall today who are calling for a brush clearance reform. Reckin Parks has been negligent in oversight with
Maybe
the
not.
subcontractors who are tasked with clearing brush in Elysian Park and throughout the city. I understand fire is brush clearance is a very important thing. There's really only about 8 protected
Sounds like her a
trees,
little bit.
and so it's inconceivable to think that a company tasked with doing this kind of work would not understand which trees are identified as protected. It's absolutely negligent. We need reform and oversight with community and groups involved. This damage will take a long time to recover,
there's no video
and
of
the
what you're
Children's
talking
Arboretum at Elysian Park especially
General
has
public
been
comment?
decimated. And school is about to start in a couple of weeks, and these children will have a dust bowl to go back to. It's absolutely devastating to the community. So I would really implore CD13, CD1 to take a look at this practice and do something to make sure that this
All right,
never
Jay,
happens
have a
again.
great one.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
Caller with the digits ending in 5271, please unmute yourself and state the items you wish to speak on.
General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin.
Hi, my name is Chris. I had someone try to steal my car 18 months ago in Tracy Parks District. I have been trying to get a police report done for the last 18 months.
Sure,
I have talked to the neighborhood council. I have called. If you call the Pacific Division Police Department, it will hang up on you. For 18 months, if you try to report a crime, it will hang up on you. You can try it right now. I have reached out to them on Twitter. I've reached out to Tracy Parks office for the last 18 months. I have spoken to sheriff's deputies. I have been to National Night Out, and I cannot get someone to do this. We need to do something about the crime, but the bare minimum we can do is at least pick up the phone when someone tries to commit a felony. I tried to report it online. It rejected it because it was a felony. Thank you for your time.
Caller ending in 2616, please press *6 to unmute yourself and state the items that you wish to speak on.
Thank you. It's Eric Previn.
Oh,
I'd like to
Eric.
speak on the available items in the general public comment.
Okay, good afternoon. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Okay. Okay, well, first of all, the $400 to clear upstairs and make room for a little celebration, I think is appropriate and supportable. I wanted to ask if, Grove, you'll be keeping track of the expenditures for Krikorian over in Paris during the Olympics. I know he's going to be there for the longest
Speaker,
period of
this
time
is not on the
council
agenda, so I'm going to
president
ask
has
you politely to please stick to matters
No,
on the
sir,
agenda item.
this is-
You can speak to the Attorney General if you'd like, but please stick to the agenda items
This
for
is
now.
related to Muslim. This is related to the Muslim festival. Don't get these watchdogs, sir. Do not interrupt. Do not interrupt the watchdog.
Are you talking about
Now,
the
getting
dogs,
back
or are
to
you
the
talking
agenda.
about? Sorry, go ahead.
I'm talking about not discussing the activities. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna have to go to the general public comment because I'm being pushed from my agenda here.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general
So the
public
general
comment per
public
your
comment-
request.
Yeah, the general public comment is that, you know, I've taken notice of the Paris Olympics, and I know that Krikorian's going to be there for the longest period of any sitting council member in the history of the city council, which is like from July 24th to August 8th.
Yeah, he's not live, though.
And of
I'm
course,
looking at his channel,
reasonable because
Danger.
He's going to be setting up jobs for him
He's
and
not
all his
live.
friends for the next set of Olympics.
Looking at it right
And I
here.
want to thank the Wasserman Agency also for having 154 sponsor athletes
Maybe on
in
his
the
Facebook?
2024
I don't know.
games. And who can imagine how many in 2028?
Click on his Facebook.
And why not just thank Arbor Westlake as well? And I want to thank Krikorian and
Yeah, he's
Rahman
not live
for
on his
putting in
Facebook
more
either.
high school regulation basketball courts within a 1 square mile radius than in any other section of America. It's a world record. There are going to be 4 over at Weddington, where Rahman's father used to play tennis. Now at our Beeman Park, our beloved, treasured open space, they are, if you can believe it, going to try to stuff one through with a little Brad Sherman imprimatur. It is appalling beyond belief. We need to get Casey Wasserman and Eric Garcetti
Caller, your
to come
time has
back
expired.
and lead the parade down the river of LA for the 2028 Olympics. Thank you.
Fucking dogs are
Speaker with
taking
the
over.
digits 4610, please unmute yourself and state the items you wish to speak on.
Hi, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Which items
Oh,
would
that's
you like
Fist.
to speak to?
All available items and general public comment, please.
Valley
Okay,
Gun
you have,
Club. up there,
3
Jay.
minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
All right, so we got a lot of business improvement districts here, a lot of street lighting all at once. And you constantly hear people talk about how their neighborhoods are fucking dark as shit.
I just looked
and
at
they're
Sky
scared to walk
News.
around at night,
Sure you're not looking at
and
loops
they
of
beg
videos?
and beg and beg. And then you see all of these street lighting districts get passed all at once. And you have to wonder, like, is it an indifference that the city council has to people suffering? And so they're just like, we'll do it whenever we do it. Or is it just like a procedural thing? It's really hard to figure that part out for the BIDs.
I see what you're talking about now.
Interesting acronym. I think it would be a lot more improving of the business.
These are videos.
Of
These
the whole
aren't.
fucking
This
city
isn't live.
if you just cut the rent in half for all the businesses, small businesses, nothing with a big franchise name attached to it. Nothing like Starbucks. Fuck Amazon. They do everything they can to fuck over the workers and the customers and the whole fucking country. But we have all these small businesses here that are struggling to survive, and a lot of their rents are grandfathered in. They're already paying, pretty low compared to other places. And they still can barely afford to
those
pay
are
a
looped
business, so that
videos,
needs to be
Danger,
changed.
that they've already
Nothing
recorded.
else really fucking matters but lowering the rent for everybody.
Notice how they cut every 15 or 30 seconds.
There's a lot of money just being
to
shifted
another
around here
scene.
for police overtime. I wonder how much more overtime is going to be needed when you have the police enforcing those temporary
crazy,
short-term
no
rental
doubt.
agreements and all the party ordinances and all that bullshit. You're going to have the police fucking getting overtime for doing paperwork. It's going to be a joke. And they're still going to complain about staffing. Instead of the police, I don't understand why we can't take care of ourselves, What's the Second Amendment for? If you don't use it, you lose it. So contact Los Angeles Valley Gun Club.
So, Speaker, I can't tell which item you're speaking to, so please stick to the agenda items.
Oh, well, there's all these police overtime.
all good,
I'm
Daniel.
saying we wouldn't need the police overtime if we were allowed to defend ourselves, which we're currently not allowed to.
Yeah, nobody's live
There
showing
really is no
that, is what I'm
self-defense
getting
laws.
at.
If someone tries to put a gun to your head, you have to call the police. But excuse me, general public comment. All right, so
General public
contact
comment?
Los Angeles. All right, thank you. Stop interrupting me, please. Thank you very much. LAValleyGC@gmail.com or LA Valley Gun Club @gmail.com. We're looking for members. We're trying to start the shit up soon. Police don't protect us. We protect us. And it's your fucking right. If you believe in God, it's your God-given right to protect yourself. If you don't believe in God, be fucking logical. If you can't defend yourself, then who the fuck is going to defend you? Obviously not the police. Even if you believe in the police, they're at least a few minutes away, which is generous as fuck. So be real. You should be allowed to defend yourself. We're all adults here. We can handle ourselves. We prove it every single day. So have faith in yourself, have faith in your community. And if you don't have faith in your community, then even more reason to be able to protect yourself and carry at least a 22. Nothing that's going to fucking blow a hole in a building, but it's definitely something that's going to stop someone from fucking up your day. So be real, be logical, be an adult. Don't let all the scare tactics shake you out, if having your rights expressed in a way that is completely reasonable. There's nothing weird about having your Second Amendment
Your
rights
time has expired.
expressed.
Call in user 5. Please state the items you wish to speak on and unmute yourself.
Caller user 5, this is your last opportunity to speak. Please press *6 to unmute. Alright, next caller.
Okay, we've already heard from Mr. Spindler and a nice imitation of Mr. Previn's dogs. Next comment.
Right?
Caller with the digits 4361.
Spindler's
Please
too
state
funny,
the items
dude.
you wish to speak on.
He's too funny, bro. Dude's gold.
Hi, this is Emma Rold, calling from San Pedro to speak on agenda item number 3 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item number 3.
Like the
and 1
dogs
minute for
called
general
up
public
just to
comment.
bark.
Please begin with the item.
Thank you. I'll keep it short on item number 3. I don't need the minute. I think a lot of it
Hysterical.
has been said by many of the other people who showed up and called in today. I just want to echo that I'm horrified by the deforestation and devastation that took place recently in Elysian Park, the destruction of protected species in a designated educational area. This is horrifying. I'm echoing the calls for accountability, reform of the LA Protected Tree and Shrub Ordinance, and enforcement of the ordinance. When it's clear that protected trees were removed, steps should be taken to prevent this from ever happening again. I'm ready to move on to general public comment now.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
I'm calling in today for general public comment on two issues. One is the Cecil Hotel. I think you've heard from a lot of residents and a lot of supporting staff and other community members today already. So again, I'll keep it short. Homelessness is a major crisis in Los Angeles. There's been a lot of gestural politics, but the important thing is to work towards actual solutions, and an important part of that is to make existing solutions livable by making sure they have the resources they require. The Cecil Hotel is a large building, and it has the ability to make a real difference, but essential to keeping people housed is to have humane living conditions. So I'm asking the city to help make this building habitable and hold the leaseholder accountable for maintenance of the hotel. Finally, I just want to briefly speak to termination of the Emergency Rapid Response Senior Meals Program, which got kicked back to the Budget, Finance, and Innovation Committee. However, because of recess, this hasn't been discussed yet, and now this program is set to expire at the end of August. LA has the largest concentration of food insecure seniors in the nation. I don't know if any of you have been hungry yourself. I don't know if
Caller,
you know
your
what
time
it's
has
like to
expired.
Okay, that was the last caller. We had, first day back from recess, we've had 2 hours worth of public comment. A lot of
So what,
that
like,
desire to speak to the council on a
big
variety
deal
of
for
issues.
you or something?
We heard everyone who came to council and everyone who called in. So what is before us now?
No, you hung up on a couple of people, that's for sure.
Mr. President, before we move on, I recommend that we exhaust public comment on item number 2 for the phones. So I'm going to ask that everybody, or I'm going to ask that ITA please lower everybody's hands. And if you have not yet had the opportunity to speak on the phones about item number 2 only,
Okay, so
please press star
people
9
can
to
call
raise your
back
hand to
now.
speak now.
Let's see if Spindler calls back to talk about fucking number 2. No, he is. I'm betting he
And
is.
is there anybody on the phones who's raised their hands for item number 2 only? Public comment has been closed on all other items.
We have 6 who raised their hands.
How can that be if we heard every caller? Oh, okay, so let's hear the
You didn't-
who's ever left on item 2.
Look at how
I was under the
pissed he
impression
is.
we heard every call.
We'd have to listen to 6 more phone calls.
Go ahead.
Okay. Caller ending in 7255.
Jason's one of them. Jason's 4 of them. It's hysterical.
Please state that.
Once again, the person doing the
Oh no, it's
kiosk
Richard.
has left me out of the conversation.
Richard Serrano.
So don't tell me it's a mistake. Don't tell me it's a machine.
See?
Caller,
City
the
attorney,
only
I need
item
the ethics
open
commission
is
to get
item number
involved with
2.
this.
So if you'd like to
I
speak
told
to
you.
item number 2, you may.
Well, DEI.
Why? I gotta speak to item number 2 because you violate the people's rights to speak.
This
when
is
you
not
don't
on
call
item
them.
number 2.
And then you
So
get mad
please
because
stick
I'm
to item
upset
number
about
2,
this.
or you're going to forfeit your speaking time. So go ahead.
He's not wrong though, Quarty.
Caller ending in 2988.
See, he signs up, he
Please
sits
unmute
there for
yourself.
2 hours, waits to be called, they hang up on him, then they expect him not to get mad when he calls in, and he actually does get through.
You may speak.
You'd be pissed too. I get it, Richard.
My name is Susan Rocha. I live in CD1. You didn't call me either.
There's 2.
So
Told you they
there's
hung up
missing
on a
people
couple.
that are on the phones. You're not picking up and calling
Told
them
you.
and asking
So
them.
caller, this is not on item number 2. So if you'd like to speak to item number 2, you may.
Okay, can you remind me what item number 2 is?
Oh, tonight
So
on
item number
Oh
2
boy,
is a
let's
bid
get it.
item
Gotta call Gil up.
about the establishment of the Greater Lima Park Village / Crenshaw Corridor bid.
Okay, does that include noise problems? Are you going to say noise problems? Because
So
my issue
no,
is
and it
noise and
doesn't
you don't
sound
care
like
about
you're here
noise.
to talk about item number 2. So again,
Well,
for
that is
members
number
of the,
2.
for
Are you going to
members
do
of
anything about
the
noise
public who are
problems
on,
with this?
we could go to the next
with
caller,
this?
please. For members of the public who are here to speak, we are only taking up item number 2 at this time.
Caller ending in 9.
Yeah, it's not Candido. It's Richard Serrano. I thought it was Candido. That was Richard Serrano.
Yes, my name is Jason, and I was supposed to scan you.
There's
Good
3.
afternoon. So you have 1 minute for item number 2. That's the only item that's open for public comment.
Well, thank you, there, Pumpkin. And I really want to talk about item number 2. I just want to, chime in about the fact, skipping over people today. Y'all doing a pretty good job of that. You know, fucking everything up. And welcome back, Pumpkin Head. Your head getting a little thicker there, brother.
Everybody's a winner except for, I think it was Les.
Shout out to the Smoke Head community as usual doing their thing.
Okay, so
you know,
caller,
put
this
it
is
down.
not on item number 2. So next caller.
There's 4.
Caller ending
Shout out
in
to Jason.
9809. Please speak to item number 2.
Yes, DanielGus.substack.com, and my point is that Richard Serrano and Susan Rocha are correct because you deprived me
Good
of the
afternoon.
opportunity
Respectfully,
also.
this is
There's
not
3.
item number 2. Mr. Gus, the only
There's
item
3.
that is open for public comment right now is item number 2. So would you like to speak to item number 2?
Okay, I'm going to conscientiously take the time to address item number 2 because that way I can be heard on item number 2 since I was deprived of speaking on the items I had been hold for all the hours. So let me address item number 2 so I can spend some of your time the way you have spent some of mine and Serrano's and Roach's. Let me see, I'll pull up the agenda and we'll pause, tap, tap. Because I will PRA the records because you have a pattern and practice of doing this. Bob, please check your email. Check your email, Mr. Grote. Check your email, Mr. Blumenfield. This has happened again. Please correct the record before I have to
Mr.
file
Gus,
a
this is
claim
not
for
on
the
item
lawsuit.
number 2. This is your final warning. Please stick to item number 2. Go ahead.
Call-in user 6. Please speak to item number 2.
All right. Next caller, and to the extent that is Mr. Spindler, calling in multiple times does disrupt this meeting. So please do not disrupt this meeting. You are still subject to the council rules, which includes warnings and removal and potential probation.
You got it.
Next caller.
Also, callers are limited to the human variety. We do not allow dogs or other pets to call in.
See, he's trying to be funny. You're not funny. Shut up, Bob.
This is the last caller. Call-in user 4.
Fucking Spindler, dude. 3 times. Anything to disrupt.
Please unmute yourself.
Come on, be somebody.
Yes, my name is Jason. I'm a smoking interviewer and
Caller, you've already. Sorry. This caller's had already had the opportunity to speak and did not want to speak about item number 2.
5 shout outs. Jason got in twice.
And that closes phones.
Oh, that shit is too funny. Now, Bob, get your ass up. Pop up, Biederman.
All right, that concludes public comment. Thanks you to everybody who came to the chambers to speak with us and everybody who spoke with us telephonically. Madam Clerk, what items are available for us to vote on?
Mr. President, first, items 34 and 38.
Shout out to you,
There's a
DanielGus.substack.com.
request to
Go check him out.
1 week
I love
to
Daniel, man.
August
Gives him
6,
shit.
2024, sir.
Without objection, that'll be the order.
Even Daniel
And
says
next,
Jason just
item
won.
28, there is an amendment that the city attorney will be reading.
Hope you guys all sue the city and win.
So the amending motion reads that I move that the matter of building and safety department.
It's gonna go
report
anyways.
Confirmation of the
We're gonna
lien
lose
amount
millions
of
anyways. Might as well, but you lose it to you guys.
$920.40 for the property located at 4630 North Beliza Place. Item number 28 on today's council agenda. Be amended to instruct the Department of Building and Safety to take the necessary actions to waive the fee in its entirety. This includes accumulated interest, late fees, and late charges associated with this case.
So, Mr. President, what is before council to vote on now are items 1 through 7, 9 through 25, 27, 29 through 31, 33, 35 through 37, 39 through 41, 49, 50, 52, 56 through 58, 61, and 62, sir.
Okay, that set of motions is before us. Let's open the roll.
Close the roll.
Close the roll.
Tabulate the votes.
Tabulate the votes.
14.
All right, now, Madam Clerk, I'd like to go to item number 59, on which Mr. Price
59
is recusing
59.
himself. Just getting his steps in. All right, Mr. Price is. We have to get Mr. Price off the board. He's out of the room. Oh, he's off. Okay, all right, let's open the roll on item number 59. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
All right.
Mr. President, there's a request to send the items 2, 4, 5, and 6 forthwith, sir.
Without objection, that'll be the order. What's next?
Next would be items 46 and 51. That was called special by Councilmember Hernandez for a separate vote, sir.
All right, unless there are comments from Councilmember Hernandez, let's open the roll on those items. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
Oh, there's a couple
12
no's.
ayes, 2 noes.
All right, what's next?
Next would be item 47 and 48, and that was motion Hut Lee.
All right, let's open the roll on 47 and 48. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
All right, it looks like we have items 54 and 55.
Yes, and those are amendments.
All right, so items number 54 and 55 as amended are before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes. And
Yep.
Mr. President, there's one more amended item, and that would be 28, sir.
All right, let's open the roll on 28 as amended. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
All right,
Finally, item 60 was called special. There was a request to continue item 60 to August 14th, but there was an objection, so the vote should be to continue to
that
August
Brian?
14th or not.
so let's hear from Mr. McCosker before we take a vote. And so, Madam Clerk, just so I'm clear, there'd be a vote to whether or not to continue to the 14th, and then any subsequent items such as the one Mr. McCosker might raise?
Yes.
Got it.
So the vote, if the vote to continue to August 14th fails, then the matter is before council right now today.
Mr. McCosker.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. I'm going to respect our rules that this objection is not subject to debate. And so what I'm just going to do is just urge a no vote on the continuance to the 14th, and I will be prepared to make an alternative motion should the no votes prevail. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Soto Martinez.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. On this item, I'm introducing a motion to receive and file this item, which has been introduced to the clerk.
All right. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Price. All right. All right. Madam Clerk.
Madam Clerk.
I urge a no vote.
Well, I'm going to ask, the clerk is going to give us direction on what we're voting on and what order.
Well, right now, this vote is the vote to continue to August 14th,
No, Adam, I'm about to cut bait.
2024.
I believe
or
they're
not.
done.
So a yes vote is to continue the matter to August 14th. The no vote is to not continue, and the matter is before council right now.
And just so I'm clear, Madam Clerk, Mr. McCosker expressed an intention to continue to a date different than the 14th. Where do we take that up?
So that would be what the next thing is. Wait, So, Mr. McCosker, when you called it special, you wanted to continue it to when?
I want to continue to 1 week from today to August 6th, but I want to be really clear about our rules. I do not have the opportunity under our rules to amend the president's order. I'm just objecting to the president's order. Should the objections prevail, then it will be open to subsequent amendments.
They're all lost. It's their first day back. Not to say they wouldn't be lost if it was, middle of the week next month. Don't matter. Yes, my name is Jason, and I got in twice. Spindler got in 3 times. I can't believe it. So it goes to show you. Jason, let me ask you, were you holding on for the first half? I'm assuming you were. So they must have hung up on you too. So that would be 4 people that they basically hung up on. They were waiting the whole time. Daniel, Susan Rocha, and Richard Serrano, you, Jason Jenkins. So there's 4 that we know of that got hung up on. And then they have the gall to tell you, first day back, we did 2 hours of public comment. We endured it.
Council,
Look at him over there sitting like Spanky.
The matter is before council, and there is a motion that was introduced by Councilmember Soto Martinez, second by Mr. Price.
Got the Spanky pose.
The city attorney can read that for the record.
Hell yeah, he is, Brandy. Making all that money. Bored as hell, not to mention the kickbacks.
So the motion from Councilmember Soto Martinez reads that I move that item number 60 on today's agenda be received and filed.
Point of order.
Hold on. Let the city attorney finish reading the motion.
That was the end of the motion.
Mr. McCosker.
My point of order is that under our rules, an objection to a direction from the chair, which is President Krikorian, is not subject to debate, and it should in fact be voted on immediately. I'm going to call that question, and then should it pass, should my objection prevail, then we now have the matter in front of us, and that would be the appropriate time to consider either a receive and file, which is appropriately placed, or a continuance to another date.
Crickets. Yeah, my neck's just hurt. Therapy was crazy yesterday. Shit hurt, man. My neck is sore. And yeah. My face. My neck and my face. Alright, I think I'm gonna cut bait because I don't even know. They don't know what they're doing. We got public comments already done because I thought it might be like number 2 where they brought back a special, they brought it for a special so that way you could come back and talk on it, and they have to do that. So I didn't know if maybe they'll do it again on something else, but I don't think so. I think we're done. Yeah, no, I could use that too. Catherine, just hurting right here, just sitting on it. Right now, just sitting here, fucking hurt. Ugh. So, yeah, guys, I guess I'm out for now. Maybe we'll not waste our time with this shit because the rest of it's just bullshit. Them complaining to themselves.
I'm trying to clarify the record here. Is that Mr. McCosker has made a motion to overrule the chair. The issue here is that my understanding from the chair is that there was no order issued by the chair itself. I understand that in the agenda, there is language that says to continue to a date certain, but that is just the agenda language. It's not an order from the chair, which would not be debatable, to your point, Mr. McCosker.
That is an order from the chair. The agenda is set by the chair, is an order from the chair. An overrule the chair requires no second, requires 8 votes, and it's not debatable. I'm going to call the question.
Yeah, but okay, so I'm not doing it. But my understanding is that this was not an order from the president; it was a request that appeared on the agenda from Council President Krikorian. That's my understanding of it. So I'll reject the objection, Mr. City Attorney, and then what does that have us do next? And it seems to me there are two things on the floor. One is to continue to a different date, and the other is to receive and file.
So as far as the order in which we vote on things, I will leave that to the clerk. But I just wanted to clarify for Mr. McCosker, because the chair is saying there's no order from the chair, there is no vote to overrule the chair.
With all due respect, and that means what people think it means, at the moment I made the objection, it was because in response to what was noted on the agenda, our president today said, unless there is an objection, it will be continued to the 14th. And I said, I object. Now, if you're saying that there's no need to object and that order is taken away voluntarily by the chair, I'll accept that. But then we're in a position where it's in front of us today, and we probably have two questions. We have the question of whether to receive and file, which is properly placed, and I'll urge a no vote, or we have the question of me being able to make an amendment to continue it to 1 week from today. So you tell me which rules we're going under. Either I've objected to an order, or that order was withdrawn.
The intention is to withdraw the order and to take the two votes. We can begin with the vote to receive and file.
Right, and then Mr. McCosker, you would have an opportunity to be heard today. Yes.
That sounds fine. Thank you.
All right. So Mr. Soto Martinez motion is before us. Mr. Soto Martinez, I assume you want to make comments.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Chair. I think this to receive and file, I think we know where it was mayor's veto. I respect that veto. I think we should just end the discussion now. So receiving and file is to just have us move on, and hopefully we can work on this issue in the future, which I remain committed to. So I urge a yes vote on the receive and file.
Mr. McCosker.
Thank you very much. I'll be very brief, and I appreciate that very much. I'm going to urge a no vote on the receive and file. I think it is critically important for the City Council to make its decisions about what goes on the ballot and what does not go on the ballot after a full debate. I'm going to be proposing that we continue this item to 1 week from today, which is August 6th. And I want to just very briefly say, I do not find the veto message compelling. It basically argues two things. It argues that we have been out to different police agencies, to police departments, police stations in roll calls, and they have said that the system is broken. And because of that, by this veto, we're going to keep the system in place. That doesn't make logical sense. And number two, it says, this is confusing and bureaucratic and creates a two-tier system. We had a year and a half to pick up the phone and say, what do you mean by that? And we can very simply explain what the system is, and it was always intended from day one. There may be other things where there was separation in positions, but it was always going to be a two-tiered system, where there was going to be opportunities for the first time in the history of the city to fire officers for egregious acts, like acts that happen day in and day out, sadly and unfortunately, in our districts. And there was always going to be a retention of a Board of Rights system. So all I'm asking members is that we vote no on the receive and file, and that we assert ourselves as the governing body of the City Council.
Vote no on that DEI sound guy.
And that we continue this over 1 week for a full discussion. Thank you.
Councilmember Blumenfield.
Well, the mics are feeding back.
Thank you.
It's too low to
colleagues,
start.
I look at today's vote in some ways as a procedural vote that one of our colleagues is asking us for a week, basically, before we actually get into the substance of the veto message. Whether you agree with him or not, as sort of a collegial thing to do, I think we should always give our colleagues the time and space to be able to vet an issue properly. This veto just happened. We haven't had a discussion about whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing. If we receive and file, we are making that decision, and we are making the decision on the veto. So my pitch right now is that whether you're for overriding or not overriding, don't make that decision today. Give Mr. McCosker a week so that we can actually discuss it. If you go longer than that, then it moots it because we're under a deadline. That is basically the last date that we can actually have that vote and have that discussion. And he can work with the mayor as well, the mayor's team, to see if there is a way to get together on this issue. So I would support the extension and urge an aye vote on Mr. McCosker's extension and a no vote on the Mr. Soto Martinez position, which is to take the vote.
All right, shut up and take the fucking vote.
File it right now.
Mr. Soto Martinez?
Thank you so much. Look, I
Thank you so
support
much.
the mayor's veto.
It's like Andy Kaufman.
Because I think it was the right thing to do.
Thank you very much.
Now, there are people in this horseshoe that have lived experience about this issue. And I'm one of them. And if you have a lived experience, then speak it. But I'll tell you, when I was 14 years old, I was falsely accused by a police officer from the Newton Division. And I'm sure that police officer, nothing happened to them. The thing that's in front of us today, that the mayor vetoed, is because that would create a two-tier system of discipline, something that was not discussed all throughout the entire of this process. Almost a year and a half of this process was done. And those changes were introduced at the 11th hour by Councilman McCosker, which I objected, and that was a bridge too far. We already had binding arbitration that has shown that it doesn't work, that jurisdictions are moving away from that. And we already know that you have the majority all-civilian board as part of the adjudication process. It doesn't work. That would have codified it into law, and the only way to change it would be, again, through a charter amendment.
You guys are fun.
I wanted to I'll be able to undo that through ordinance, through this body. People objected to that. I was against arbitration, a flawed system. People objected to that. And I was okay with having the chief to have the ability to fire anybody. Mr. McCosker made those changes, and now we created a two-tier system for discipline. If you think that is reform, then I don't know what you're thinking. That is not reform. That is putting lipstick on a pig, but at the end of the day, it's still a pig. And so for the mayor to veto this, I think is incredibly courageous. It was her first veto. And what I'm saying here today is let's uphold that veto. I continue to be committed to working on this issue for the entire city, including with Mr. McCosker. But what is in front of us, it is not good. So I'm saying let's uphold that veto. Let's do it now. I don't think we don't have to debate much of this. I think it was the right decision, and I support it. And so I say end this debate now, and we can continue to move forward and working in the future.
Well, we'd end the debate if you shut the
McCosker.
fuck up.
Thank you very much. Another procedural issue, but an important one. Actually, the motion to continue takes precedent. It goes first. So my motion to continue to August 6th requires a second. I'm asking for a second. I'll ask for that vote first.
But we're discussing a motion now. So I don't know how you get in front of a motion that we're already discussing.
Because I had presented that I was moving this, I was making an indication that I was going to move this item to be continued for 1 week. That is a motion that actually takes precedent. I'm making that motion now. I'm asking for a second.
All right. So we're clear. There's a motion on the floor that's been called and seconded. There's now a second motion on the floor that's been called and seconded, and that second motion is going to be voted on first. Madam Clerk, can you clarify that it is in fact the rule?
Yeah, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They've been off so long doing nothing. Not like when they're working, they're doing a whole lot.
Pursuant to Robert's Rules of Order, the motion to continue this matter to August 6, 2024, which was introduced by Mr. McCosker and duly seconded by Councilmember Park, takes precedent over the vote on the amendment introduced by Mr. Soto Martinez and seconded by Price. So at this point, Council should vote on the motion to continue this matter to August 6, 2024.
Councilmember Rahman.
question. If Councilmember McCosker's motion stands, does that mean we don't even vote on Councilmember Soto Martinez's amendment?
The matter will be continued to Tuesday, August 6th, and the debate can continue along with the amendment. Everything will be agendized for August 6th.
Mr. Soto Martinez.
So just to clarify, I am asking for a no vote on Mr.
Jesus.
McCosker's motion, which will then give us the ability to vote on my motion to receive and file this item. So I
All right, I think that exhausts our speakers. So let's, on the motion to continue until next week, Tuesday, brought by Mr. McCosker and seconded by Councilmember Park. Mr. McCosker is asking for a yes vote. Mr. Soto Martinez is asking for a no vote. Let's open the roll, close the roll.
Let's see who wins here.
Tabulate the vote.
Oh.
7 ayes, 7 noes. The motion to continue this matter fails.
All right, now we have
just some
let me
rig
just check with
shit.
the city attorney and the clerk.
Really?
Do we now
You
consider
know we ain't
Mr.
never
Soto
seen more than
Martinez's
2
motion?
no's ever.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Soto Martinez, any more comments on this?
Clown shit.
I made my comments on this. I urge a no vote. As we can see by the votes, this is not going to. Sorry, we can see the vote that just happened now. There is a strong desire. I think the mayor's veto will hold at the end of the day, and so let's just make the decision now, receive and file, and be over with it. We can continue the discussions moving forward. So I urge a yes vote.
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Costa.
Holy shit.
I urge a no vote, and I look forward to further discussions day after day after day.
All right. I just want to say for the record, I said, when this first came to the floor that this was really good legislating. I was really happy to see the work that Mr. McCosker and Mr. Soto Martinez had done together to bring us to the point. It seemed like a lot of big things that we try to do at the last minute, it started to come apart. I was in committee, Mr. McCosker, when the controversial amendments came up. As I told you in committee, they raised serious questions for me. And I, without even studying it, said, oh, this seems like a two-tier system that we have that gives the chief, theoretically, a good amount of discretion to decide what categories an offense would go in. And so I wasn't able to be here for the vote on account of COVID. So I just wanted to, again, reiterate that I think that we did good work, but I would contend that we didn't get all the way there. With that, if there's nobody else on the queue, we will open the roll on Mr. Soto Martinez's motion to receive and file, seconded by Mr. Price. Mr. McCosker is asking for a no vote. Mr. Soto Martinez is asking for a yes vote. All right, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
A yes is win.
9 ayes and 5 noes. The motion is adopted.
All right. What's next?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
They are posted and referred.
That clears the desk, sir.
All right. Members, any announcements? Any announcements, members? Seeing none, can everybody in the chamber please rise for adjourning motions?
All right, we're out of here. We up out of here, ladies and gents.
The adjourning motions to my left, Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, this is with profound sadness and heavy hearts that we mourn the loss of one of our own active duty members, firefighter paramedic Justin Curtis Jr., who passed away on July 27, 2024. Justin served the Los Angeles City Fire Department for 22 years with unwavering dedication and exceptional bravery.
Rest in peace.
His passing is a tremendous loss,
Mr.
not only to
Curtis.
his family and friends, but to all who
Yeah,
had
send him
privilege of
tonight
working
something.
alongside him. Assigned to Fire Station 18 on the B platoon.
What's up, kids? We're just
Firefighter
about out of
paramedic
here.
Curtis commenced his
I always
LAFD
watch the
career on
replay. It was pretty
February
good today.
19, 2002. He exemplified the highest standard of service and commitment while working with both the LAFD and the United States Forest Service. His contributions went beyond his remarkable skills as a firefighter and paramedic. He was a mentor, a leader, and a source of inspiration.
Good luck,
to
Michael.
everyone
Hopefully you
who met
get the
him.
job, bud.
He was also a devoted husband, father, and proud 4-year veteran of the United States Army. The void left by his passing is immeasurable, for he leaves behind a legacy that will endure through time. We extend our gratitude for his service and sacrifice to our organization and the communities we serve. We will continue to honor and remember Justin, as he will forever be a part of the LAFD.
Still here, kids.
All members of the LFD will be wearing black mourning bands on their badges in Justin's memory. And details of the services are pending, and they ask in lieu of flowers if they request that you consider donating to the Widows, Orphans, and Disabled Firefighters Fund. To Justin's family, please know that the entire city family is with you in this difficult moment and grieves alongside you. May Justin rest in peace.
Thank you. Any others to my left? Any adjourning motions to my right? All right, seeing none, we're adjourned. Thank you so much, everybody.
That's it, ladies and gents. Whoa, now it's all blasting, all loud. This fucking sound, dude, is too much. Thank you guys for joining me today. Appreciate it. We got back into the mix with the city council meetings. We will have one tomorrow as well. But we'll be live tonight, 8 p.m. for our normal Taco Tuesday fun. So go out, get your tacos, and get the fuck back. Remember, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for the likes, the love, the donations, the thumbs ups. They work and they're free. Shout out to everybody who called in. Brock had a great call, and Jason had a couple great calls. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Thanks for calling in. Shout out to Daniel Gus and Richard Serrano and the rest of the gang, and Mr. Spindler for his call in, and Stacy and everybody else. So you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you later tonight.
Well, y'all come back now, you hear?
Yeah, you guys. I'm a gang.